If you're listening to the replay of this live, be sure to punch that like and subscribe button and make sure you let me know and drop it below your 2 cents as I go throughout the video.
To y'all, man. 2 cents be on point. She be on point, bro.
Appreciate it.
Blonde,
Appreciate
for real.
it.
You talking facts. Like you the first one to say it.
Hi, welcome to the channel. I'm Jay, and this is our 2 cents, where we talk everything boxing, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. In today's live, I will be doing a live reaction to the Devin, Haney, Andre Ward interview. I know there's been a lot of people talking about this interview. I haven't seen the interview in its entirety. I have seen a couple clips people been showing, but I haven't seen the full interview. And like I said in one of the videos I made, I'm going to follow Devin Haney's journey closely and quote unquote report on it, talk about it, make videos about it. because I'm interested to see how this all plays out. And like always, I would like to give my 2 cents about it. I want to thank everybody that's here tonight for joining me on this Friday night. Could have been anywhere else in the world, but you decided to be here with me. We got Zach B in the building. 2 cents. Salute. What's going on? Big Supreme in the building. What's going on, Big Supreme? What's up? What's up? What's up? How y'all doing tonight? So before we get started, y'all might have to excuse me tonight. I did get a soundboard, and so I've actually had it for a couple days now. I just could not figure out how to hook it up. So I finally got it hooked up to where it's working with my headphones and my microphone. If y'all can hear me clearly, let me know. Just put a one in the chat. If anything sound off, let me know. But I'm still trying to figure this thing out to figure out how everything works. This soundboard was purchased with the donations that were given to the channel through the Cash App. And like I've always said, all of the donations that are given to this channel will be used to improve the audio and visual quality of the channel. So shout out to everybody that's been donating to the Cash App in the channel. I'm gonna let you know that I really, really, really appreciate you guys. And as you can see, I am investing the money just like I said I would, improving the audio and video quality of the channel. So, a few things I want to address before I hop into the interview. Some things that have been going on this week in boxing. The first thing that I would like to address is Tia Fimo Lopez. Tia Fimo Lopez. Oh, hold on. Why they still clapping? My bad, y'all. Tia Fimo Lopez. So, Teofimo Lopez has recently made some very racial comments towards Javante Tank Davis and Terrence T. Bud Crawford. Now, when I heard the comments, first of all, let's get this straight. Teofimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia publicly are the two most mentally, emotionally unstable boxers in the game right now, as far as we can see, that we see publicly on a daily basis. They say the most outlandish things, the most crazy things, and I don't take neither one of them serious. I've been watching Ryan Garcia pretty much his whole career, and he just, I could never ever take him seriously. Even to this day, I can never take him seriously. If you go back and watch all my videos on Ryan Garcia, I'm always talking about how corny he is and how he's not to be taken seriously. I started a whole series on my channel called Capping and Bullshitting because of Ryan Garcia and all the capping that he was doing before the Tank fight was ever made. I honestly thought that they would never make that fight. I thought Ryan Garcia would never fight Javante Tank Davis. I'm so shocked that he finally did, but I digress. So Teofimo Lopez said something to the sort of Terrence Crawford or Javante Tank Davis, either one of them monkeys can come get this banana, or something like that. He said. Now, initially, when I heard the comment, I was like, okay, yeah, that's quote unquote racist, but it really kind of gave a little, it had like a little gay undertone in there, because I'm like, dude, why would you tell two men they can come get a banana? I thought that was kind of weird for him to make that type of statement. Like, why would you? What? Yeah, they can come get this banana. Like, dude, stop it, stop it. In addition to that, right before I heard him say that, I heard him say something about Javante Tank Davis got some DSL lips. I'm like, why you why you looking at that man lips like that? And when you looked in Javante Tank Davis' face and you saw his lips, you thought to yourself, man, he got some DSL lips. That's what ran across your mind, T.O.? That's what ran across your mind, T.O. Now, I know a lot of people upset because the racial comments and they want all this outrage and this backlash. But I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm not saying that because they mentally unstable, that any of this is okay. That's not what I'm saying at all. The point is that I'm trying to make is I don't let ignorant people, I don't let stupid people, and I don't let people that don't know what they talking about affect me emotionally because I don't care about what they saying. I don't care. I don't care. We all know Teofimo Lopez and his dad, like they off they rocker, man. I never take Tio seriously. I can't let somebody that I don't even take seriously upset me. Because at what point am I taking you serious enough to be upset? And people, if you're easily offended, you're easily manipulated. I'm gonna put that out. If you're easily offended, then you're easily manipulated. I'm not about to let Teofimo Lopez or Ryan Garcia make me be outraged because they said nigga and they called Tank and this a monkey and this and that. And listen, they can say whatever they want to say. They just off their rocker. They're boxers, guys. They don't have no control. They don't have no power. They ain't gonna stop nothing. They not gonna stop Tank from doing nothing. They not gonna stop Terrence Crawford from doing nothing. It'll be one thing if Teofimo Lopez made that comment and he was able to block Terrence Crawford from getting a fight somehow, or he has some type of control at a, like Bob Arum being racist, right? He has more control and he have more power, so that's a big deal because he can control what fighters do, who fighters fight, how they career, the direction of career, the career that they're going. It's a big deal if Bob Arum was to say something like that. Then yeah, I would feel some type of way and really have something to say about it. But Tio, the man making comments with the gay undertones about Javante Tank Davis and Terrence Crawford, Ryan Garcia, like y'all already know Ryan Garcia can't hold it together. But I just want to touch on that real quick. I know it's a lot of people that's like, well, why you ain't saying nothing about this or why you ain't saying nothing about that? It's some things I'm not gonna say nothing about, or maybe I guess I do need to say something about it because I'm a content creator now. I'm working on getting in the space to where I comment on and talk about things that I usually wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? So hold on, somebody asked me to drop the link. Yeah, y'all hop up here. This is an open forum tonight. It's not a formal show. So I plan on going live on Fridays. I haven't got a time yet. And Sundays. Friday is gonna be more of an informal show where I'm really just up here talking. It's the end of the week. I just want to come on here and chit chat about boxing. And Sunday it'll be more of my formal show. So I want to speak on that, and let me see what else was there going on this week. And I heard people bringing up the point too why nobody was outraged when Bill Haney called Javante Tank Davis a monkey. And there were other content creators out there calling Tank Davis a monkey. And a lot of people say, oh, well, he called himself a gorilla and this and that. So, like I said, all of that's neither here nor there. I don't like paying attention to or addressing ignorant stuff, stupid stuff, and things like that. I did think that Bill Haney was out of line when he called Tank Davis a monkey, and I thought it was really uncalled for. But it is what it is, man. I mean, these people crazy, people off their rocker. You can't control what people say. You can't control what people do. And a lot of this is just for attention. Teofimo Lopez knows that if he says when he says things like that, he gets attention. He gets videos made about him. People gonna talk about him. All of that stuff going on. Is Teofimo Lopez racist? I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't know. I mean, technically, he's not racist because he doesn't have any control or power to do anything. So we could say Teofimo Lopez don't like quote unquote black people, but as far as him being racist and actually stopping some black people from doing something, he's not in a position to do that. We got Omega Red in the building. What's going on, Omega Red? We got Benaya Wright in the building. What's up, Benaya? All things in the building. What is going on? All things. How y'all doing? We got Big Supreme.
You can hear me, 2 cents? What's up, 2 cents?
What's up with you?
What's going on, man? I just wanted to say, good evening. I agree with everything you said, and I was on Upper Live early, and I wanted to hop up there and give my 2 cents on a couple of topics. But I guess they seem kind of busy today, so I didn't get a chance to. But I got a lot, to talk about. But I'll just address the stuff you said about Tio. Um, Teofimo's always been racist. He always had this like, it's like he got this like animosity towards black fighters. I don't know where it's coming from. Maybe because I think it stems
I'm gonna go.
from,
I'm gonna not to cut you off, but I'm gonna say jealousy.
yeah, I'll say jealousy and envy for sure. Because one, he thinks he was undisputed. Not only does he think he was undisputed, he thinks he's two-time undisputed. But then when you see someone like Shakur Stevenson, he's making 3 million a fight. You look at someone like Crawford, he's pulling 3 million a fight.
Hello, can you hear me?
Can you hear me, Two Cents?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, listen, y'all gotta excuse me today. I'm with this new soundboard, so if things get a little twisted or go a little quiet, just pick up the show for me. But what you say? You kind of went out. I can't hear you, Big Supreme. Do y'all hear Big Supreme? Can't hear you no more, Big Supreme. Oh snap! We got boxing hacker in the building.
All right, whatever.
Big Supreme, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. You can hear me?
Okay, okay, I can hear you again.
No, that is my phone. My phone. I'm driving, so it's going in and out. But
Okay, go ahead. I can hear you.
all right. So Teofimo, I don't think like he's athletic. He has some boxing skill, but I always thought he was overhyped, and I never thought he was all that. He's like in a quandary where it's like he feels like he's super talented, super skilled, and he's not getting the just due that he feel like he deserves. But besides him being Lomachenko, he looked good against Josh Taylor. He's looked kind of average. You get what I'm saying? Like you look at Shakur, you look at Tank, you look at Haney. Like they put on wonderful performances. No matter what we say about Haney or Shakur, they've put on master classes and they've showed their talent and their worth. Shakur's a Olympian, silver medalist. Like he deserves that $3 million a fight deal that he worked out with Top Rank.
Keep
So
talking. I'll be back in 1 second. Keep talking.
yeah. So let me read the chat. See what the chat talking about. Boxing Hacker, what's up, man? You trying to get up here? Trying to hop up here? But just back on what 2 Cents was saying, like Teofimo's he's a weirdo. Like I never got the fact that he called out Crawford because he's at 147. You have the WBO belt. You could have used the mandatory and forced it and fought Crawford at 147, but he's just using black fighters for publicity. I guess that's their marketing strategy to this Tank, to this Haney. But it's weird. I never really see him say nothing about Shakur though. I don't know. I never really seen Teofimo say nothing about Shakur. I find that kind of odd. Even now, he's like beefing with like Richardson Hitchens now. I don't know. Teofimo's a weird dude, man. But back on what 2 Cents was saying, as far as like she doesn't take him serious, and I understand why she says that because the dude got beat by Cambosis, man. He got beat by Cambosis. He got beat by Sando Martin. I think Jermaine Ortiz beat him. So it's like I never understood why Tio's held in high regard. Then people always say, well, we never gonna know what kind of Teofimo we gonna get. We could get the Teofimo that beat Lomachenko, we could get the Teofimo that beat Josh Taylor, but then he's been looking average for a couple of fights now. He
Right.
looked average against Claggett, he looked average against Jermaine Ortiz. He didn't do so well with Sando Martin. Cambosis dropped him, got the split decision victory. Like he's been looking kind of average for a while. My opinion with Tio, he doesn't really do good with boxers that could move. Like Cambosos could move,
Jermaine
Sandor could move,
Ortiz.
Ortiz could move. Like these dudes could move. He needs someone to come forward. So I always thought like when they say Tank only fights flat-footed Mexicans, that's really Teofimo. He only looks good when someone comes forward. That's it. Lomachenko, as far as his footwork, is exceptional, but he doesn't. He's not really slick like that. Like he Lomachenko can't fight going backwards. Like, and that's another thing too with Lomachenko. I've never seen Lomachenko fight a Mexican fighter. I've never seen him like he's fought like UK dudes or miscellaneous African dudes like Kome or Nakatani. I just never got the top rank. Like the fighters are like kind of overrated. Like it's weird because with the cross the street narrative, they'll say, well, PBC is protecting Tank or they Errol Spence was a hype job. They don't really want to cross the street because they'll get exposed. But then you look at like a Lomachenko, you look at Teofimo, you look at even like Haney, you look at Shakur, all of them have had very, very bad performances, and I feel like they never get called out for that.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing with Tio is, I see you, boxing hacker. Give me 1 second, real quick. We got H Money in the building. We got Jarrell in the building. Let's see who else done hopped up in here. We got Aunt McQueen in the building. I think I already shouted out boxing hacker. Salute to everybody that just joined me. Salute, salute, salute. Let's welcome boxing hacker to the panel.
Yo, salute,
My
man.
guy.
What's up, Big Supreme?
What
Yo,
up?
what's
What
up,
up? But
gang? What's up, buddy?
Man, what's up, buddy?
let me
Chilling, man.
respond to you, Big Supreme. And that's my point that I want to make with Tio is that the fact that his performances are so up and down and inconsistent. When you see an athlete doing that and performing like that, that lets you know that there's something going on with them mentally, right?
For sure.
Because they can't stay consistent. Some people say, "Oh, he just fight to the level of his competition," but it's a little deeper than that with To, and
I
it'll
agree
be
with that.
different if he was just like that inside the ring. But you could clearly see something is mentally going on with him outside of the ring. And I think the two things that Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez have in common is this thing with these mushrooms. They say they do mushrooms or whatever the case may be,
Oh yeah,
and
Ayahuasca.
that seems to be, maybe everybody shouldn't do mushrooms. Maybe you know what I'm saying. It's certain things that people shouldn't do because if
Joe
you
Rogan does them
susceptible
too,
to
right?
things and you taking these type of drugs, it's just gonna bring it out.
Yeah, but
So
Joe Rogan's not an athlete though, so it's not gonna affect him the same way.
Yeah. I mean, I think they say they do it because they go to like this like higher plane, and they all have these like visions and stuff, And it's I guess it brings them to a different level of awareness. But if
yeah,
that
but
level of awareness is
if you are,
racism, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you funny.
That's the pill to take.
The ayahuasca makes you racist.
Yeah.
but if you're already crazy, it's just probably gonna bring it out more. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. And
So they probably should leave that alone.
I'm tired of them. I'm tired of people trying to create excuses for that dude, man. I'm like,
Yeah,
at the end
I
of the
agree
day,
with you on that,
Tio
Harry,
knows
for
what he's
sure.
doing. Yeah, Tio knows what he's doing. Like somebody said that, oh, Tio and his dad say the N word because that's a New York thing. Blah blah blah. I'm like, listen, man. Then let him say it to Lomachenko. If it's just a thing that people say, right? Like black people will say the N word to anybody. If you listen to like how black people use the N word, yeah, let him say it to a non-black person. Teal's dad I've never heard Teal's dad use the N-word to Lomachenko or any non-black fighter.
Now I'm not
But
gonna
yeah,
lie.
it's something
Hold
that you
on,
can
hold
say
on,
to
hold
me.
on. Shout out Trash Talk Gaming 15. He say that boy T.O. seemed desperate, and that's facts. Let's welcome Terrence Best Videos to the panel. What's going on, Terrence?
Oh, so well, 2 cents.
What's up, Terrence?
I see y'all talking about races. Like,
Oh
Yo,
yeah,
bro, I'm done. First of all,
racism
bro,
in this
Racism is
boxing
no.
space is crazy.
ever since his father said the N word, I don't fuck with them, bro. I don't fuck with him. I mean, I used to give him the benefit of the doubt, but it's like to me, it's like in any other profession, any other thing. People I don't fuck with, I don't give a fuck about them in the sport or anything. Like, I want him. Like, how do they say that when you just ban somebody and they go into oblivion? That's what I want. I don't want them. I want them to get knocked out. True. Um, Yeah, I do want to see him getting knocked out.
The
But I think
Teofimo
that
for
can
sure.
happen to a lesser fighter. It don't have to be against a fighter of Bud or Tank's caliber. I don't fucking
Mhm.
think he's that great. I
And
think
they
he beat a wash. I think he beat a washed up, overrated, that whoever the fuck his
Josh
name was.
Taylor.
Yeah,
Lomachenko or Josh
over
Taylor
a drain. He looked like, and y'all saw the fight. He looked like he weighed like he was fucking drained in that fight. I don't know.
or
I
Josh
don't
Taylor.
know. Yeah,
Yeah,
Josh Taylor
Josh
looked.
Taylor should have been moved up for real.
Yeah, he looked
Yeah.
super drained in that fight. So I mean, bro, and then the other fights, like I said, he ain't look. And he fought Sandra Martin. He ain't look good. He's all, you know. I can't stand that dude, bro. I really can't stand him or his father. And it's like, to me, it's other fights for these guys where we don't need to worry about To. I'm not giving him no. I don't want to hear. I know you said he's using mushrooms, but if you're a racist, you're a racist. You know what I'm saying? A person that uses mushrooms that's not a racist, they might say some crazy shit, but they
Yeah,
ain't
but
gonna say
mushrooms don't
nothing
Nah,
make you
racist.
racist though.
the
You
mushrooms and the racism
you
is not
feel me?
correlated. The point that I'm making is that
Yeah.
they both off they rockers and they both talk about using mushrooms. And mushrooms is not. It's a spiritual thing. It's not a. Oh, I'm chilling. Let me go do some mushrooms. That's not. It's not supposed to be used like that. You get what I'm saying?
The
Yeah, this
spiritual
Right.
thing.
dude just
Yeah.
Michael throw
Yeah, I
some.
mean that's what they say too, right? Like it's some it takes them to the higher level of nirvana or whatever that's trying to go to, you know. But yeah, I mean at the end of the day, Tio knows what he's doing. At the end of the day, when he made that monkey comment, people can say what they want. Tio's a smart guy. He knew exactly what he was
No,
doing.
To is not a smart guy.
Yeah, I
Stop.
don't know about that,
Uh,
Haney.
I mean,
He's
he's
definitely not
smart enough
smart.
to know. He knew the reaction he was gonna get. He knew
Yeah, he definitely did.
Yeah, I
insinuation.
agree with
Was.
that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I think To is jealous and he wants attention. And this is no excuse for his comments because he definitely should know better. And Terrence Crawford should have smacked the shit out of him when he seen him for real.
oh
I
yeah.
wish we would have.
No, but who's worse, him or
But
Ryan's
you,
even worse
hey,
though. That's the
hey,
crazy
you
thing.
remember y'all? I don't know if y'all remember. And another person I don't like is Rolly Romero because he's a another racist. I mean, I don't know what these
You
dudes.
know what's
How's
crazy?
Rolly
Rolly and
Rolly's black, ain't
Teofimo
he?
used to be
Rolly,
mad
Rolly's like
close.
a half
Rolly
black
not
or something.
black?
Yeah, he
He's
half
Let
half
me
black.
black.
tell you,
He's
His
half
mom's is
black,
yeah,
black.
yeah.
he might be half black, but he made a racist remark against Crawford as well.
No
I'm
fly zone. What's going on?
But I'm just saying, like to me, it's just no place for these guys. If you want to fight Crawford, you don't have to be disrespect. I expect you to say some shit to him, but just keep. You don't have to bring up race to talk shit to somebody, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can talk your shit to try to get a fight. I don't have no problem with that. But the racist shit, and especially with To and his father, who I know was a racist, because y'all know when you're drunk, your true colors come out, right?
So let
So
me ask
that's
you a
when,
question.
yeah,
Parents box is flat-footed Mexican a racist comment?
flat foot. No, let me tell you. Okay, so when the way I look at it, those the terms. There's certain terms that we know
I think
are
it's definitely racist though.
are
But
taboo for black people or Mexicans. But
It's,
that's not. You said flat footed Mexican. I guess and that's relating strictly to boxing because they're saying that they stand in front of you and fight. You know what I'm saying? But
But
that's not
that's
like that's
kind of
not
like all
it's a
Mexicans fight like that,
stereotype,
and they don't.
like slick black fighter. It's like on that same level as slick black fighter.
right.
It's like a
But I don't think that's the taboo racism. Like when you say, oh, a person's a monkey, that's been around. White people said that for years about black people. Everybody knows. Forget about boxing. That's just racist, right?
yeah,
You're saying that to a whole group of people that don't apply to one person. Is trying to apply that to every black person. That's where I'm coming from with that. Yes,
yeah.
to
I mean,
me, I wouldn't say flat-footed um, Mexican. I don't think that's hey, I don't think that's politically correct either. However, I don't think it's the same sentiment as calling a black person a monkey.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So there's degrees. Like, okay, if you say, oh yeah, like you just said, a slick fighting black person,
yeah,
I'm gonna take less racism to that because you know what? That only applies to boxing. It's a lot of black people that don't even watch boxing. You know what I'm saying? So yes, is to me that's not politically correct. But that's okay. If he said that, that's fine. But when you're saying something racist that's been used against us for many years by you know who, nah, I'm not cool with that, bro. I can't fuck with you.
I mean, to be
So
fair, you don't need to mention the person's race or color when you say like the boxing
right.
style. But however, in boxing, like
So
particular
Bill Haney
styles are
racist.
noted to like certain fighters. Like for instance, Cubans are known to be slick fighters, and so are
Oh
African
wait, hold
Americans.
on. Yeah, you're right, back. I feel what you're saying. So y'all saying Bill Haney racist too, because he
But let
called
me
Tank a
explain.
monkey.
Why you
Okay,
say
but let me
this is
let
monkey
me.
comment?
I was thinking a lot about that when that because a knockout was making that point. But let me tell you the difference between what he said and what Tio said. And again, this goes back to taboo. When and I mean, I listen. I don't personally think Tank looks like a monkey, but let me explain to you. Them two are going back. Y'all know the dirty dozen. Y'all both going back and forth because he was talking shit about Bill and Bill was talking shit about him. So when Bill made that comment, he's really trying to say, but this only applies to Tank. He's not applying that to every black person. He's saying, oh, you look like a monkey. But remember, they were talking shit to each other. Is that a low blow? Yes, it is. Should he have said that? No, he shouldn't have said it. But that doesn't apply to every black person when he says that. He's applying that strictly to Tank. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't personally think he looked like a monkey, but he's saying that strictly to Tank. He's not referring to every black person when he says, "Oh, trying to say that Tank and Tank himself, the only person, is looking like a monkey." I just wanted to clarify that because but Tank was very disrespectful. I mean,
Well,
very disrespectful to Bill too. Both of them need to grow up, and they shouldn't be calling each other names. I agree, but I think that was specifically targeted at Tank and no other black person
so, but
because
here's the thing
he's
about the Tank thing as
yeah.
well, though.
For real,
That we
say,
have
can
to
you
remember is
lend a
that
nigga a pencil? Y'all remember that video?
yeah, the teacher, right? Yo,
Yeah,
but like
he
here's the
was
thing about
genuinely
Tank though.
confused.
Here's the thing about Tank though. Remember, Tank's icon is the great ape, right? So if Tio had said that, like you could also use that same reason and say, okay, well, Tank's icon is great ape, so it's like a pun off that of Tank's icon. But the problem was that he said Tank and Crawford. Crawford doesn't Crawford has no icon as a great ape. He doesn't consider himself an ape or anything of that nature. So when you put those two in that as like either one of those monkeys, it already means that you're not talking about Tank's icon right there, you know.
What's even more
But Bill
alarming
Haney
to me is
specifically
the gay
said that,
undertone.
I'm
To me.
this is a reference to Tank's icon. So I thought it was funny.
But for him to say y'all either one of them can come get this banana, that to
That was
me,
Yeah,
crazy.
that
yeah.
stood out to
Well,
me
I don't know.
even more. I'm
Nobody. I
like,
don't know what even know what that.
what do
What
you mean?
does that
Either
mean by
one of
that?
them can come. I think he got crushes on them for real. I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
I don't even know
He
why
used
it's
to
not
post
out
live
there.
on say Bill Haney pulled that monkey shit out his ass when they was at a zoo or some shit. They wasn't going back and forth.
No, but
You're
Tank's icon
sure?
is
Dre
a
in the
great ape.
building. What else
I see.
going on, Big Dre?
See, the problem I have with Bill Haney calling Tank a monkey, it wasn't just that. Like he called I think he called Ella B a
Letter Ella
spook,
B spooked by the door.
What
called
he
him a
called it?
spook, Uncle Tom. He called Mayweather
Oh,
a
okay. I see.
psyop.
I
Like
see. I see.
Yeah,
so,
I
Okay.
mean,
I don't like black men using like racial epithets towards other black men. Like it's one,
I agree with you,
the
bro.
sport is already racist. Like the
Right.
sport is already incredibly racial. We don't need black men to start calling each other. It's like if someone was to tell Crawford he's a tar baby, like or something like that. Like
Right.
what? What are we
Right.
doing?
Right.
but
It's crazy.
hold on,
Like
but
what are we doing?
you have to admit this though, right? Like it's like the great ape. So for instance, right? Like what did the Charles used to call himself? Like Lions Den or something like, right?
Right.
If you will
Lions
always
Den.
Lions only or
would
something like
make
that, right?
puns off them, be like, oh, I guess you got to turn to like Cubs. You see what I'm saying? Like it's still on that same trajectory where it's like
Nah, I disagree,
Tank is
bro.
the great ape. Like if you go to his Instagram, he has a picture of an ape. Even yeah, if you go, that's his icon.
Nah,
You
I
know,
get that, but
I
we
heard
we
other
know the
people
It's
calling
difference.
them
fair, it's fair
monkeys too.
game at
Bill
that
Haney
point. If
wasn't the only person I heard saying that.
This is
I
a
did
Who
this
hear
is
was
a
that?
difference.
different content creators calling him a monkey. I mean, it
yeah,
is
it's
what
his,
it
Really?
his
is.
icon, you know.
That's
So like
terrible, bro.
you can't if somebody starts to clown your icon, you can't be mad, you know, at that point.
So all
However,
right,
like I said,
so
the
do you
difference is
agree?
yeah, go ahead.
So do you agree with a white Hispanic calling a black man a monkey? You gonna add and
So
I
provide
if
guess.
context for
okay,
that?
let's use Tio, right? Who's
Yeah.
Honduran, right? Like let's use him. If he has said it was Tank and he didn't put Crawford in the equation, then it'll be an interesting argument because at the end of the day, it's the same thing that Bill said. Just to be fair, and he can also use the same way. He calls himself the big ape. I think he's a monkey. Then he's a monkey. He's a primate. So what's the difference?
Lamarcus
You
Robinson was
know.
going
But
on.
he used Crawford. That was the issue.
That's what I'm
Crawford,
saying.
He wanted because he used the ape reference because he wanted to tell them they can come get the banana.
yeah. But apes
Two
eat
cents here.
bananas. So like it would be fair if
Two
you just
cents
said
here.
pointed to Tank and used it on Tank
All right, so
because
this is my
Tank
thing, right?
is it.
But yeah, just to
Uh,
switch gears here real quick, we're gonna hop into this Devin Haney interview. I'm glad I got some people up here on the panel. We can all react to it. Have y'all seen this full thing in its entirety?
Yeah, I seen the whole thing.
nah, I didn't see the whole thing.
I,
Not
I didn't see the whole thing.
good, good.
I
I
saw
Okay.
seen
some
clips
things
on
there.
Twitter.
I have not seen the whole thing. We're gonna go through this together. If you're in the chat, make sure you let me know and drop your 2 cents as we go through. If you want to come hop up on the panel, I'm gonna drop the link. Let me pin the link to the top of the chat. But listen, Tiafimo is sus to me now. I know we
Yeah.
Now
mad
he's
he wrote,
definitely sus.
but
But let me
that
just get that one comment out, 2 cents, and then we could just switch gears.
go
Now the
ahead.
reason why I had a problem with it because Teofimo did an interview with a certain content creator. I ain't gonna say his name, but in the interview that he did with the content creator, he kept mentioning Crawford's skin complexion, saying he's black, he's real dark, and he's ugly, and I don't know how he has a wife, all this other personal crazy stuff. I'm like, yo, this sound like some real racist, like what's going on? So then when you add the monkey and that's too much for me. But yeah,
Tio
that's
want
what I'm
Crawford. I'm
saying.
telling you,
Yeah.
he like that
You
nice
can,
dark
they can keep playing
tone
Crawford if they want
skin.
though. Crawford's a real that dude gets really angry, dude. I think he's
Yeah,
been
he's a
like that
live
since the
dog for sure.
amateurs. Yeah, Crawford's been like that dude that'll show up in your face even since the amateurs. So he can do what he wants. See
Phoenix the
how it turns out.
assassin in the building.
Here we go. Phoenix the hater. Phoenix the ultimate hater of life, man.
Oh,
Oh
since we're on the
man,
topic of
that is
Devin,
so
right?
funny.
Huh?
This is my thing. Since we're on the topic of Devin,
Yeah.
and we got the president of the Devin Haney fan club up here.
Thank you for my
All
introduction.
right, so now this is my problem. I seen on Twitter
Hmm.
that I guess he laughed at the prospect of Roach fighting Tank.
Hmm.
So this is my thing, right?
Hmm.
Is Tank wrong for pulling up a fighter from 130? Like is he picking on somebody that's
Is he
smaller than him? Is
fighting
that the
Roach?
narrative?
Has that even been confirmed?
It hasn't been confirmed yet. Yeah,
Not
and I think
just the prospect of it, not
I
just
mean
if
he
it's
pulled up
confirmed or
Hector
not.
Garcia for 130, right? Or Hector Garcia was going to 135.
But he was a champion. He had a belt. Ain't that what y'all say?
Yeah. So I, at the end of the day, it's not the fight that people want to see. So like people are just are gonna hate on it. That's how it is.
Okay. Because my argument
Yeah.
is this, right? Tank came from 126, went
Yeah.
to 130, came to 135.
Yeah.
So my thing is this, right? Gamboa came from 26 and fought
Mhm.
Crawford at 35. So my thing is, we can't say that Tank is pulling up smaller dudes when he came from them weight classes himself. I feel like someone that pulls up, let's say for example Canelo, he's been at 168 for years now. Him pulling up Charlo, even though Charlo's a big dude, I feel like that's kind of like, are you picking on dudes smaller than you?
But
They
it's the
all
same
pull up
argument, right? Because
fighters.
Canelo
They
came from
bring down
147 too.
fighters. They all do it. See, this is
They
my
all do it.
the thing is people like Tank. Let's say one fighter will do something that is normal in boxing and that everybody does, but they try to make a big deal about it. For instance, like Tank with the weight clause. A weight clause is not an anomaly in boxing. Weight
It's
clauses
been going
are
on.
it's a
Hmm.
thing in boxing. People use weight clauses. It's not like he did this special weight clause so he can have his break. A lot of people do weight clauses. Even the whole IBF got a whole weight clause on their belt. So it's just people like to pick and choose and take things out of proportion when they feel like they can use it against a fighter and this and that. I mean, I get it. It's boxing talk. It's good for debating or whatever. But we got to stop acting like this one fighter is not doing something that's just a part of boxing.
But see, the problem is that it seems like an advantage for Tank, right? Because if he knows somebody's seemingly big for that weight class, right, he's gonna put the person on a weight class, and then it's an asterisk against that fight because like, what would have happened
But
if he
Boxing
wasn't on
Hacker,
that
in
weight class?
hindsight, do you
Yeah.
think that it was a good idea that Tank put Ryan Garcia on the weight club?
In hindsight, what happened with the Devin Haney debacle? Uh,
Yeah.
no, I don't think it was a good idea because like the asterisk is there.
So
I
you don't
think
think Devin should have put him on the weight club?
no, I think that he should have never took the 3 pound except the 3 pound
Well, Devin
overturn that he
feels
did.
differently. So let's
Yeah.
All
talk
right, so
about this. I'm
let,
gonna
let,
let you
Devin just
finish
trying
your
to
point.
save face, bro. Devin's just
let me
trying to save
Even in the
face.
interview, Devin never said that. I think Devin was just saying he didn't want to he would have never allowed the 3 pounds to like go through.
all I'm
But I don't
saying is,
think
bro, Eddie Hearn said he wished he put a rehydration clause on him. Bill Haney said he wished he put a rehydration clause on him.
so.
So it just goes with the fact that Bill Haney
I don't think they
and
said that. So here's the problem,
they
right?
did
Even if
say
you
that.
put no, not in the interview, but here's the problem, right? Even if you put Ryan already had like a weight limit he had to make, right? And he missed
Mhm.
it. So even if you put a rehydration clause, it doesn't change the fact that he was gonna miss weight. You see what I'm saying? Like it doesn't change the fact that hey, I missed weight. What you gonna do about it? Ryan wasn't planning to make the weight to begin with.
No, this is the issue,
So
right?
rehydration clauses come when you think the person's gonna blow up big, right? But it wasn't the fact that he blew up big because Devin didn't care about that. He cared the fact like he didn't cut down to the proper weight. He stopped at 143, right? Which created the onus on Devin to choose whether or not he wanted to go through or not. Because if it was 144, the fight would have been called off
All right,
like
I'm
off
gonna
the
say
break.
this. Hold on, I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna hop into the video.
Mhm.
It's kind of hard to say he missed the weight on purpose and did this on purpose when he called in Scooter, which is the guy that helped the fighters cut the weight before. Allegedly, he took the supplements that contain the ostarine to help him cut the weight. So it's kind of like well, he did it on purpose, but he did all this extra shit that quote unquote got him popped dirty to lose the weight. You get what I'm saying? And the
Mhm.
rehydration would have not. I believe it would, even though he didn't make the weight, he wouldn't have been able to rehydrate to whatever he wanted to the next day. And you also got to take into consideration the reason why they probably didn't want a hydration clause is because they also wanted the advantage of being able to rehydrate to whatever they wanted to also.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hearns
But
did say that.
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, there's not to me. There's nothing wrong with rehydrating. It's supposed to say for boxers.
all right, here we go.
Can
Rehydration
I
clause
can I say
is
something real
actually a
quick?
dangerous thing.
Go ahead, Big Dre.
Now, Tank only put
Oh,
rehydration
what's up, Big Dre?
clauses.
I didn't even see you. What's up, big brother?
What's going on? What's going on? He only put rehydration clauses on two people. He put it on Ryan because Ryan was already going to be. If Ryan had agreed to the 135, there would have been no rehydration clause. But because Ryan wouldn't agree to the 135, he put the rehydration clause in there. Um, and Mario Barrios, he fought Mario Barrios at 140. Tank came in that fight at 137 pounds. 137 pounds.
Hmm.
The man, you give up 3 pounds from the listed weight plus whatever they rehydrate to. Um, I don't think it's I don't think it's out of the norm to want to do something like that. So that's
So I mean,
Nah,
so here's the
it's
problem
almost
though.
like y'all want to penalize me from taking your advantage away. Like it doesn't make any sense.
It's
Like I'm
it's
not.
not an advantage though. It's not
It
as
is
people
an
think.
advantage.
No, rehydrating. Fighters are meant to rehydrate. When you
What
cut weight, it's a danger. Like
It's
I
listen,
don't know.
y'all keep saying rehydration clause like they can't rehydrate. You can still rehydrate.
So here's the problem though. This is why most sanctioned bodies don't follow rehydration clauses, is because
That's false,
before
Hacker.
no most
Two of them
don't.
follow it now.
All of them follow them, except
No, not
the
all of them.
WBO. The IBF has it, the WA has it, and the WBC has it as well.
WBC doesn't have it. When the
They
WBC
do
the
have it. They have a
WBC
weight
has
program.
what's called a weight management clause.
mean,
That's a
the
fact.
assassins say WBC
Hey,
been under fire for not following their own weight management program to
I would say
prevent
that.
excessive rehydration.
So
Hey, boxing hacker, I have
yeah,
a prime example of why I agree with them on this.
what?
Do you remember the dude? He fights at Atlantic City all the time. That Floyd beat up. What was his name?
Joey, Gotti and Gamachi, right?
Yeah, Gotti.
Yeah,
So Gotti fought this, and I distinctly remember this shit. Gotti fought this dude, and when
Joey
they,
Gamachi.
bro, oh, that's what it was, bro. When he got in there, it looked like this dude was 2 or 3 weight classes bigger than this dude,
yeah.
and I'm like, what the fuck? So, and the dude, and my thing is, somebody could get really hurt like that, bro. So I think the commission, like they can't let people come in 2 or 3 weight classes bigger than somebody, bro. I'm sorry. If you
End of
fighting
his
at a
career.
certain weight, you should, yeah, you should be somewhere near their boxing hacker.
So
That's
here's
why I don't agree with some people.
so
Somewhere
here,
near the
but
weight.
here's the thing
That's
though.
all I'm
Here's the
saying.
thing, and I think Devin touched on this inside the interview as well. Like when it comes to weight cuts, right? If you're really big for the weight class, your weight cut is actually way more drastic than the other person's. So you run the risk of like depleting yourself, and even if you rehydrate big, you won't have the same strength that you normally would have because
Which
you're
is
doing it at a quick
which is
rate.
one of
You
the
know.
mistakes Devin made in this Ryan Garcia
So why
fight.
not fight at your correct weight class? That's the argument, basically.
So I mean,
Yeah.
so people's weight. So when you're cutting when you're a fighter, you're
All
cutting
right, come
weight,
on,
right?
boxing. We gotta start the video, boxing.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
go ahead,
Come on,
go ahead.
man.
speak to. But I want to ask you, man, how you been doing? How you been processing what's been going on? How you been feeling, man?
Oh man, I've
It's
been
for educational
feeling
purposes
good.
only. Don't
Just
flag my
taking time to be with my family, my loved ones, my immediate people, my small circle, and just going over everything, and just still analyzing, and just focusing on making my next move my best move.
How is that for you though? Because you a guy that don't lose a lot of rounds,
Yeah.
much less a fight. So
Yeah.
this is new territory for you as a professional.
It is new territory. It's a very unique situation, at that, as we know. We seen Ryan, the things that he took, the PDs, me being cheated,
doing it live.
it's like you want to look at yourself like, okay, where did I go wrong? And in the beginning, that's what was, I was trying to figure out after the fight. When after every fight, you think of what I could have did better. Where can I get better? So after that fight, you really, you go back to the drawing board and you're trying to figure out where did I go wrong, and I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't, I fought a guy who did everything wrong leading up to the fight. Me doing everything right. Great team, great coaches, great game plan. It's just hard to beat.
Now, my question is, one, how do you know Ryan Garcia did everything wrong? And two, how do you know you did everything right? Even if this is the thing. It's the absolute. I don't even if you win, there's no way you did everything right. Y'all get what I'm saying?
Oh,
There's no way
absolutely.
you did everything right. There's
But like I,
always room for
Mhm.
improvement.
Correct. And this whole interview, like I said, bro, he knows he's capping. He's not telling the truth. And
I
like I
don't
said,
know.
I like Devin. When people cap, I'm going. And y'all know I'm a Shakur fan, and I'd say when he said the contract shit, that was capping. Bitch, he lying. I'm not going to say he's not lying. I'm going to tell the truth. And in this instance, we know Devin is not. He knows that the game plan should have been the box. I'm sorry. Game. He said we had the right game. Man, that's just a flat and blatant lie that he had the right game plan. So we already know he capped him from the start in this because he
That's the
didn't have
thing.
it.
I don't think he's capping. I think
No,
he
he's not.
believes that.
It's definitely not Cap either. I don't think he's wrong.
Yeah, I
What
don't
he
know.
what
What?
he
I don't
was
know
trying
what's
to
Okay,
wrong
say,
I
with him
want to hear
to
this
walk
boxer
Ryan
yeah,
hacker.
down.
yeah. So what he was trying
Please,
to say is that
let me see.
when it comes to doing everything right, he followed all the rules in boxing. He trained hard. He got the right sleep. He had the right diet. Meanwhile, if you listen to because I listened to the whole interview in totality, right? Meanwhile
Don't skip
Ryan was
ahead.
part.
Don't ahead.
Ryan was partying. He even said that Ryan was partying the week of the fight. Like every night, drinking. He was he
I
was the
think he got
same
bad
guy that
service. I can't hear
was
him.
just. It just seemed like Ryan was doing all the wrong things versus him that was being the clean fighter, the athlete that followed all the rules. And at the end of the day, it was the person who did the right things that ended up losing it, and the person who did all the wrong
Just,
things that ended up
just
winning it.
because you do things right does not mean you're gonna win. Like
Yeah, I mean that's true. That's true. But at the same time, I can see where it's coming from. Where it's like, damn, I'm doing all the right things, but the person who didn't, it's like me and you run a race. Okay, check this out, 2 cents. It's like me and you have a race like 2 weeks from now, right? And you look at me, I'm eating cheeseburgers. I'm not. I'm going to the track like once a week. Meanwhile,
Right,
you are like training every day. You're eating healthy diets and so on and so forth. And when we
right.
race, I still smoke you. And I
listen,
smoke you. It's not even
I
close.
ran track majority of my life. Somebody can walk off the street and beat you, and you
Hmm.
doing everything right, simply just because they faster than
That's true, but I mean, you still beg the question, like, damn, what was I do? Like, how did it happen like that?
you. All right,
I
hold
think it's
on. Let
yeah.
me shout out Big Ray.
2 cent, your thing's cutting out. Sorry, what'd you say?
To my channel. It does take some time,
Okay.
but if you can't do it right now, I know it's a lot going on. Be sure to punch that like and subscribe button, and that is another way that you could support the channel. So let's get into it. But I hear
If,
what you're saying, Boxing Hacker.
Yeah,
Be
yeah,
if
yeah.
somebody,
Boxer
man.
Hacker, I have a question for you,
They
Boxer Hacker.
Yo, what's up,
they
buddy?
doping.
Hold on.
I'm gonna take a little bit of a pivot, man, and we're gonna get back to the fight because I got some specific questions that I want to see if you can answer for us. But it's well documented, man. Your ties to the Bay Area, and then you growing up
Alan So
in
saying, what
Las
up?
Vegas. What was life like for a young Devin
Richard
Haney in
Paris,
Vegas,
thank
but
you for
being this
joining
young
live.
phenom, taking all these trips as an amateur fighter?
When we went to Vegas, we went to Vegas for a better life. Coming out the Bay Area, it wasn't the best, especially for a young kid growing up. So we moved to Vegas for a better life to see something different. And from a young age, I was always focused. I knew what I wanted to do. I was playing football at a young age.
Oh, really?
7, 8.
Tackle?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I was a star football player on my team.
Like that?
We took on boxing,
Of course you was.
and just from a young age, I knew what I wanted to do. I knew that, I was special. And I just knew that I had to, stay focused and I was on the right path.
Now,
Okay, let me pause right here because
Mhm.
what I heard Bill Haney say was Devin started boxing because he was getting in a lot of fights in school. Anybody else ever heard that story?
I remember that.
Yeah, I think I've heard that before.
Yeah.
I thought I heard him say that on Fanon's show.
And then I heard somebody say, "Oh, well, Devin went to private school or something like that." And I'm like, "So who was he fighting at school?" Like, I'm confused at where his start was in boxing. Was he a problem child and getting in a lot of fights at school, or did he just transition from football to boxing?
I
Well,
mean,
I think
he's a
both are true.
star
Like he was a
athlete.
football
You
player,
got to
but
remember that he tells the truth, just like his dad. It's
yeah.
always 100%, and they don't lie in cap. So
I mean, I think both can be true, right? Like he was getting a lot of fights and he was a football player.
He was
I
getting a
don't
lot
think.
of fights at private school.
Yeah, why not? Just because you're in private school doesn't mean you
Got
can't fight.
You're not fighting nobody
It
in
doesn't.
private school,
Just
bro.
because you're,
Private
private school or public school, you can still fight. You know it, right? It's not. That doesn't make
You're
any
not
difference.
getting in a lot of fights at a private school.
You can't say that. You can't. You can't make that kind of assertion. That's the. If the, at the end of the day, I don't have reason to doubt that's what happened. If they said that's what happened, that's what happened. I have no reason to doubt it
fans don't know
whatsoever.
this, but it's a lot of names in boxing right now that you came in contact with. Dudes you fought, Ryan is one of them. You came up with Shakur. You came up with a lot of different guys. How did the relationship with Shakur get built? Because if I'm not mistaken, he used to come to y'all house and spend time and stuff like that. Like, how did that go left?
Me and Shakur been knowing each other since I was 12, 13. Spent a lot of time, came to my house numerous occasions. We traveled the world together on the junior Olympic team. I don't know, man. Just a unique situation. I can't really say where it went wrong. But it is what it is. It's boxing. It's no friend, especially when these guys are around your weight class. We're peers. And it is what it is. We knew that one day we would, meet up, and it is what it is.
I asked him, I said,
And he's
is it just
sad
some
about
boxing beef
that.
or is it like some real beef? He's like, nah, it ain't, it's just boxing. As an older homie in the game, it's hard for me because I'm seeing the youngsters. I'm like, man, y'all like, man, figure this out. But when I was in the game, I understood it because everybody fighting for their position.
Yeah.
It is competition. We do got history.
Yeah.
Sometimes the history come out and, you feel a way about it, man. But I just didn't really understand, how that situation went left. But I get it. Tell me about the Floyd Mayweather relationship because you came up under Floyd young in your life. Why was the Floyd Mayweather relationship so important to build to kind of keep you under Floyd?
Floyd was the biggest in the game. I just was fortunate that he was right there. That's what really was what started. Him just being there, me being in Vegas, me going to his gym, me training with his father, his uncles.
I've heard Pop talk about it several times about, Floyd offering y'all a contract at a certain point.
Yeah.
And I respect how you and your dad have been moving in the sport. It's different, it's unconventional, but it's been effective. You not taking that Floyd deal or feeling like it's just not the right situation. Do you think that was like the beginning of some of the issues taking place?
I don't have nothing but love for Floyd, and I respect what he's done for the sport. He's motivated me. I just watched him, studied him for so long. Still to this day, he's done a lot for me, whether he even knows it or not. Just the little gems that he gave me from me just being able to watch him so much.
I've had my run-ins with Floyd. I was never as close to Floyd as you were, but I've had my run-ins with Floyd where 1 minute it seemed cool. Oh, what's up, Drake? Yeah.
Does anybody know what's up with Andre Ward and Floyd? Why do they have beef, and where did the beef originate?
It started from the fact that Floyd switches up energy on him. So basically, what happens is that at one point, like Floyd would say, like, I forget what the comments were. Like Floyd would make all these like, how can you say it? Like critical comments about Andre Ward. Like, oh, he should like, if Andre Ward was so fight, maybe he should. It was so nice. He would give Kovalev a rematch, or Andre Ward is not as good as people think he is. Floyd make all these like comments against Andre Ward. But then in this interview, Andre Ward's like, it'd be like 1 minute he'll do that, and then the next minute he'll be like cool with Andre Ward. So Andre Ward was just like Floyd, just like a two-sided dude,
Okay.
But that's where it started from. Floyd used to make comments about Andre Ward that seemed weird.
That's the chant. And the next minute you saying something about me, and I'm like, bro, what's up? Like, what is that? Because I seen that post fight with Ryan, and I was gonna get into it, but I'm gonna just get into it now. About you said it, feeding them information and different things like that. It's like, I don't understand that.
I think Floyd is just so competitive that it is what it is. He just competitive. So I don't know. Like I said, I can't really speak on it from his point of view. I'm just trying to be the best me that I could be, and it is what it is. I respect the OGs of the sport, the ones who paved the way for fighters like me.
Pop telling it like it is. When you see that kind of interaction, are you like, man, I respect what my dad is doing, but I'm gonna let him do him? Or do you feel like, man, we don't need that?
Our Pop's speaking up for us and, what we feel. Pop's been doing it for so many years and just, being backing me, and, it's nothing but love coming from our way. And, we just passionate.
Ward, like, do you ever tell him to shut
we want our
up
name to live on, with the greats when it's all said and done. So maybe the things that Floyd hadn't did that we may have wanted him to do, or I may have, felt maybe that's maybe why I'm here where I'm at today. Maybe I used it as motivation.
When you see Pop being a mouthpiece, and he does it very, very well, do you feel like that puts more pressure on you? Or does it take pressure off of you? Because you like, man, I could be focusing on other things, training, and Pop keeping the name out there, and he dealing with any foolishness that's coming across that internet.
We here because of him promoting, him talking, and some people hate him, some people love him. But a lot of people
tune in though.
Yeah. They tune in. They want to hear what he got to say. That was always the plan. And he's great at what he does.
You turned pro at 17.
Yeah.
People don't know that the Olympics is every 4 years. So if your birthday, if you miss that cutoff, you either got to wait another 4 years or you got to turn pro. You chose to turn pro, and y'all went a whole different route, bro. How did the Tijuana, Mexico, in the back bar, and these ballrooms, how did that come about? Whose vision was that?
That was my pops. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't really want to do it at first because I'm like, man,
Really?
Mexico. It was unheard of, really. Like, no, the fighters, it's common now. Now everybody doing it, but before that, it was like Mexico. Like, you want to go to Mexico? And we was hearing so much bad things about people was saying you would get robbed and this and that. Mexico is dangerous, this and that. So I was like, I don't know if I want to go to Mexico, but I trusted my dad. I trusted in his vision, and it worked out.
Bro, you was pulling up to them ballrooms still clean. You still had your outfit.
Oh
You was
man,
pulling
listen,
up like it was a championship fight. I'm like, young Devin
nah,
still.
it's funny looking back because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for those moments. But I was taking it serious. You would have
You
thought I was
got
fighting
to.
for. I was sparring 12 rounds
For real.
for
Yeah.
a Mexico fight, but that's prepared me for the big moments. Taking the moments so serious.
So you start building up your record and you finally get an opportunity to fight, I believe it was in Nevada, right?
Yeah.
In Las Vegas.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta pause it. I don't want to give them copyright strike. We got Mark Q in the building. What's going on, Mark Q? Let's see. I want to skip through some of this. Let me see.
I want to make a comment on where they said where that where when the relationship between him and Shakur went left. The relationship between him and Shakur went left when he sent him that bullshit 25% offer, you know, and wouldn't let. I mean, if we friends, let's get together. Let's make this money. Let's make it happen. Let's get in the ring and let's do it.
They were beefing before that, though. They were beefing before Shakur even came to 135.
They,
They
I
had they
mean,
had they had interest in Fallout, And I
Listen,
they
the
think
had some
offer,
words,
to
but
my
it
understanding,
wasn't it
the
wasn't
offer
serious.
wasn't even real because Bob Arum said himself he would have had to been the one to because it would have been under Top Rank. He would have had to been the one to send the offer and do all of that. He said he never sent nothing. They never even talked about it. Shakur wasn't never even on a list on the opponent for Devin Haney. So you know what I'm saying? Like people
Mhm.
always bringing that up, and I was like, it was never real, guys.
Well,
No, but
so but at the same
it
token,
wasn't real,
Shakur
but
Shakur
it
said
was
he
put
heard
out
about the
there to be
offer.
real. It was
No,
put out there to say, hey, I sent him an offer for 25%, and he turned that down. And Shakur said, you didn't send me an offer. I've gone to the sanctioning
2019.
bodies. I've sent them the offer. I've sent the petition to the WBC
mm.
to make you to make me be your mandatory.
So,
And
but here's the thing about that, right? It wasn't just 25%. Devin Haney at that time was undisputed. He had 5 belts. He had all the belts in the main sanctioning bodies. Plus,
It
he had the
wasn't
Ring Magazine
real
belt.
boxing hacker. There was
Huh?
nothing to accept.
Okay,
When
so but here's
Devin
the thing:
Haney
if
sat
you're
down, hold on,
Shakur,
hold on. When Devin Haney sat down with Bob Arum, they said 2 fights with Cambosis and a Loma fight. Those are your 3 fights with this 3 fight contract that you have. That's it. And
but
think
here's the
about
thing.
it. Why
Here's
would
the
you
thing, too,
even
son.
want to see? You seen how Devin Haney looked on that scale. This is what I knew. As soon as I seen how Devin Haney looked on that scale against Loma, I knew he was about to leave 135.
Yeah, which was
I
a good
didn't want
move,
to
right?
see him fight Shakur or Tank at that weight. I
Yeah,
don't want to see you
he was too
fighting
depleted.
that
I
range.
agree. He was too depleted. But here's the thing, though, Toussaint, that we can't neglect. Shakur himself said that he heard about the offer from his peoples. So even if Bob
Why
Aaron says
Shakur
that,
always hearing about an offer for somebody that he can't never name
yeah,
what's
but
his
here's
name
the thing,
yet?
though.
That's the same excuse he always uses.
If you're Shakur, this is what you do. You just call the bluff. You say, okay, I'll take it.
No,
If
you
the
don't
dude's
call the
faking,
bluff. There's no bluff to call.
yeah, you take it. So like you call it, you say, okay, I'm gonna take it because at the end of the day, if they so here's the thing, what people don't realize, like Devin Hayden has a track record of if he wants to fight or he makes an offer and that person accepts, it always like the fight normally always happens. You know, if both if Devin Hayden says he wants to fight and the other person accepts, it always happens. That's been Devin Hayden's track record. So if Devin Hayden said okay 25%, if I'm Shakur, and I already know my own
Hacker,
promoter.
as a Devin Haney fan, you should have been upset if Devin Haney
No,
really sent Shakur Stevenson an offer at 35 when you seen how he looked on that scale against Loma.
I didn't want. See the thing, I didn't want him to fight Shakur at that. But if I'm Shakur, I still call his bluff because at the end of the day, if you don't do what you just said, everybody's gonna be at you. You understand what I mean? Even your own fans will be like, "Damn, Devin, we seen you do this before, so why aren't you following through?" You know, that's what you do. And people can say it's a bad offer, this and that, but here, it's only a bad offer if you have a better thing coming up. Shakur didn't. Shakur didn't. Shakur said 25% was too low. What happened? What was the fight he took after Yoshino? He made way less money with no titles.
There
So
was no. If he
I
would have
hear
caught,
you. Yo,
nothing would
the
have happened.
validity of the offer. I'm not questioning whether how valid the offer was. I'm saying you already know your promoter is on your side like that. He's on the side of Lomachenko. You yourself will be like, okay, do it. Let's see it. Let's see you drop the 25% offer. You know, that's what you do because at the end of the day, it benefits you the most. I mean, that's just business sense. You know,
All right,
like
hold on.
this
Shout
is
out
a,
to
like
Alan Sosan for the $5 in the cash app. Appreciate it.
you know, it's just business sense at that point. If because he knows, I mean, Shakur knows that at the end of the day, when it comes between him and Lomachenko at a top rank, they always go to Lomachenko. Lomachenko lost to Devin Haney, right, and stole Shakur's ranking. Do y'all remember that? He stole Shakur's ranking after losing to Devin Haney. So like you already know what it is. So like you don't wait for Bob Aaron or nobody. You say okay, let's do it because at the end of the day, you know that if somehow magically, let's just say magically, it becomes a real thing, you have a great advantage because you know Devin Haney is completely drained at 135, and you sparred him so many times.
All right,
It
let's
You
just
get
won
to
your
makes sense
the
at
first
that
world
point.
title,
video.
Mhm.
WBC lightweight title, right?
Yeah.
How did it feel to get that monkey off your back? You got the whole
Oh,
time
take
being
that
in
money.
these ballrooms. You're not really signing with a promoter. You're going about it your way. Pops is letting everybody know what time it is. We're not shy. We're not brash.
Yeah.
You finally get that monkey off your back.
Nah, it was unique. See, my career is everything is it's been unique, but I thank God for it. I thank Allah because everything happens for a reason. So when I won the title, it was he's email champion. I was email champion then for a long time.
They
That's
was
what
running with
yeah.
that for a little
They
bit.
was running with that. But now we
Yeah.
see fighters, they don't say a word. They get emailed the title and they don't say nothing. But I all of that has made me bigger, made me to the person that I am today. Cause so I still wasn't getting my credit. I was champion, but I didn't get my full credit. But it built it up for me to become undisputed.
If you could do it all over again, would you have accepted that title that way?
Yeah, because if I didn't, then I would never got my shot at being undisputed. Because I had that one missing piece to the lightweight division, and that's what gave me the shot to fight George Campos. But a lot of people was telling me to vacate, don't accept it. And at times I was thinking like, man, I should.
He should have asked for the fight. He should have asked to fight for that title.
He couldn't. How could he? So when he got the WBC title, Lomachenko petitioned to get the franchise title, which
Wait,
means
hold on. Boxing Hack, let me finish. It said Shakur did not turn it down. Shakur activated his mandatory, and Devin left the weight class. Shakur did call his bluff.
that's not calling his bluff because at the end of the day, like he wanted one sanctioning body to call how much the split was going to be, right?
Yeah, so
But
why he leave the weight class?
so here's the problem though. One sanctioning body, he has 5 titles. So if I'm
There was
Devin,
only 4.
no, he had the Ring Magazine title as well.
The Ring
So
magazine don't count.
right, and okay, he had 4. Oh, he had all the super titles from the major sanctioning bodies, right? So if I'm Devin and I feel like, hey, like at the end of the day, I just fought internationally twice. I just fought a former number 1 pound for pound, not somebody on the pound for pound list, a former number 1 pound for pound. You know, and you want more of the split, and you gotta have one
Number
section
one
body
pound for
dictate that.
pound.
I'm gonna
Who
drop
did he
that
fight that
title,
was number?
and
Hold
that's
on, hold on. Who
exactly
did he
what Devin
fight
did.
that
He
was
dropped
number
one
one pound
title
for pound?
first. Hmm?
Talking about Loma?
Huh? You said yeah.
Oh,
Loma was
okay,
the
okay.
former number 1 pound for
So
pound.
let me ask y'all this too, because this is my thing, right? About the belts. And does it matter? Let's say you undisputed. Devin Haney's undisputed, right?
Hmm.
Youngest, the undisputed champion to do it.
Yeah.
Does it matter your run to undisputed? And does it matter who you fight for those belts? Or are we just looking at the fact that you got the belts?
No, once you get the belts, you're undisputed.
No,
When
no,
there's
no,
no
no. That's
longer a
not what I'm
dispute,
asking. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking
Yeah, it doesn't
Does
matter.
it
Your run doesn't
matter
matter.
what's undisputed? Like, does it matter that you go through, you get each belt off of each champion and the caliber of those champions, or does it just matter that you get the belts?
No, it just matters you get the belt, 100%. Like we look at Terrence Crawford, he had one belt too, and he got the rest of the belts from Errol Spence. He became undisputed. If he had stayed 147, and then Boots beats him, and he gets all the belts, we
But
just say he's
but
undisputed.
one could argue that Errol Spence had the better run because he went through and he took all the belts off the
Yeah,
champions.
you can say he had a bad run, but you can't say he's
Not just
undisputed.
people that you don't know. You're familiar with the people that he got the belt, Deshaun, but you're familiar with those fighters. Those are good fighters. I understand Devin Haney is undisputed, but he didn't go on an undisputed run, and he got the belts from George Kambosos, who caught Tiafimo on a bad night.
Everybody
Does
who
that
loses
matter?
can be
Chat,
say
let
they
me
got caught
know.
on a
Drop
bad
it
night.
below your 2 cents. Does that matter?
It doesn't matter because anybody can say the same thing. Like if I lose, I got caught on a bad night. Everybody who loses gets
Terrence,
caught on
what's
a
your
bad
two
night,
cents?
you
What
know.
you
But
think?
but at the same time, here's the problem, right?
Hold on.
Even
Let
if you
somebody else talk. Boxing hacker, Terrence, what you think?
okay, my bad.
What about you, Big Dre?
I think that
Hear your 2 cents.
you know, Devin got undisputed the easy way. He didn't have to fight for the WBC belt. He had an interim title and was elevated to the regular title or to world champion via email. Yep, you got the belt via email. You should have had to fight for that belt. Now that you got a belt, Tio goes down, craps the bed against George Kambosos. Oops, there's an easy one. Hey Bob, can I get that fight? Bob says, ooh, we got easy money here. Let's set you up, send you to Australia so you can fight. So you B-side to Australia for chump change for a chance at undisputed. You win undisputed. Kambosos activates his rematch clause, and you B-side as undisputed back in Australia. Took an easy fight. Took two of them. They came back here to fight Lomachenko, um, to defend his belts, and you know we all know the controversy that spawned. He got it the easy way. He was able to step in to the right place at the right time with the right promoter and pick up undisputed.
I mean,
I think
yeah.
it, I think it was the easy way to do it, but you can't knock him for doing it. He will always go down as being undisputed.
Boxing is about timing, and the timing was right for Devin Haney. But let me get my 2 cents real quick on how I feel about being emailed a belt. A lot of people, try to clown a fighter for being emailed a belt. But if you just take a step and look a little further, why did I get emailed the belt? Well, I got emailed the belt because the person that had it, for whatever reason, didn't want to fight me. They didn't want to fight me. So I was next up. I was in position to get this belt. I was willing to fight for it, but they didn't want to fight me. Just like a lot of people like the clown Jerron Boots in this, he got emailed a belt. Well, Crawford didn't want to fight him. So why would I turn it down when I've done everything that I needed? I did everything right. I done everything I needed to do to get in the position to fight for the belt, and then the person that's supposed to fight me doesn't fight me. That's not my fault.
You're right. It's not your fault, but my thought is you have an interim title so that you
Mhm.
can become the next man up. Okay? And the number one contender is right behind you. Um, that belt becomes available. I think the interim and the number one contender should fight for it. That's me. That's the way it went back in the day. That's the way I think it should go today. Now they elevate you. First of all, they got too many belts. You have the world champion, then you have the super champion. The super champion don't have to fight mandatories. The world champion does. but it's the same sanctioning body. They get paid twice for the same belt.
All right, stop it.
Yeah, I should have accepted it. Like I should just wait. I should just wait and fight for it the right traditional way. But everything happens for a reason.
You got to play the game sometime.
Yeah.
You got to play the game. And the sanctioning bodies, as we know, they play a lot of game.
Mm-hmm.
So they put you in position, they take you down.
Yeah.
You dominate Gamboa, then you fight Jorge Linares, where that dude been around the game forever.
Yeah.
He look like he don't never age.
Yeah.
Right? You have some rough spots in that fight, and you start hearing people start talking about the chin.
Yeah.
Do you think that was justified? Or do you feel like I got hit, it happens, and I responded the way a champion's supposed to respond?
That's what I feel. I mean, I feel like, at the end of the day, every grade of the sport, has got hurt. It's what they do when they get hurt, how they react. And I feel like I reacted like a champion, and it was just experience.
With Teo, I've seen you go back and forth with this dude for years. Like, why have y'all not fought yet? Was it ever any?
Okay, real quick, let me ask y'all a question, panel. In chat, let me know and drop it below your 2 cents. What is your definition of a chin? Like, what does that mean to you? Does having a chin mean I can get hard, and not get wobbled or hurt? Or does having a chin mean I can get hard, wobbled or hurt, but I can recover fast? Does it mean I can get knocked down and get back up? What is your definition of having a chin? See, a lot of these things in boxing are very subjective. So I just want to get a feel for my audience of what they think the definition of some of these things mean. So when we're talking, I can say, oh well, boxing hacker think having a chin mean you can get knocked down 6 times and get back up. You get what I'm saying? So what is y'all definition of what is a chin?
Well, the chin is where you can get hit, and you can take a punch. Whether that punch wobbles you or not remains to be seen. Because it's just that we'll say, I'll give a really good example. Um, People say that da-da-da-da-dun, uh, damn, I'm drawing a blank. Fought Javante Davis, went to the 12 rounds with Javante Davis.
Oh, Pitbull.
Pitbull has a chin. Okay, that you can say Pitbull has a chin. You can see Pitbull has a chin. Okay, Javante hit him 2 times during that fight that lifted that man's heels off the ground. Okay, lifted his heels off the ground. He didn't wobble. He didn't fall. He stood there, and that's when you can say get hit like that. You can say you got a chin.
Right.
You can say Javante has a chin because Ryan caught him with one of them lefts, and it he stumbled, he wobbled, but he never fell. His knees didn't buckle. That's
Right.
known as having a chin.
And also too, just to get my 2 cents, I could also be of a viewpoint or perspective that having a chin is nothing to really brag about because you're only really bragging about how hard you can be hit. Tighten your defense up. Boxing hacker, what you got? What's your 2 cents?
Well, having chin means how well you can absorb a punch, right? They used to say like Floyd Mayweather had a chin, right? Because he would be able to absorb like really heavy shots from known knockout artists and still be able to like keep moving forward. So it normally means, it normally means that how well you can absorb a punch. Although people have tried to like change it to like how well you can recover from a punch, but that was the original standard for it.
All right, let's see what the chat got to say. Big Supreme say chin means you can take a big punch. Haney been wobbled by multiple fighters. All things say quick recovery and not being highly effective. Okay, okay. Somebody say Tank has a chin. Says, okay, so we got some different opinions about chins, but what I'm hearing the most is that you're saying if you got a chin, you can take a punch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can take a punch.
You can take a punch, yeah.
So does
Now,
that mean I can take
I'ma
a punch and
disagree
get
with.
knocked down long as I get up? Like, would you say Devin Haney displayed a chin in the Ryan Garcia fight?
Um,
Um,
no,
It's
He displayed uh he displayed courage. He displayed that dog. He took
yeah,
those punches, but he got knocked down. He got knocked completely off his feet. That
but
first punch in the first round, which was funny to me, because you say that you went through this whole camp working on the left hook, on defending the left hook, and what is the absolute first punch you get hit with? The left hook.
mm,
Um, it it wobbled him in the first. He may have had, he's got great stamina, um, and good control. Um, but I wouldn't call him chinny, but I wouldn't say he has a chin.
yeah, I wouldn't say he's chinny at all, right? Because at the end of the day, everybody that Ryan's ever landed that shot against, 99% of the people have all lost, have all been stopped by it. So like
So
at
he
the end of
definitely should have stopped him then if he was on PED.
well, I mean, it was on PEDs, right? I mean, that's not even in question. But when it comes to the fact that Devin Haney, Devin Haney, yeah, like I'll agree, he had a lot of courage in that fight, and not only that, like he was able to recover pretty well. Like for somebody, like I said, for a shot that normally knocks people out, for Devin Haney to like make it to the end of the fight and still get a split, that was pretty interesting.
All right, let's see.
That showed a lot of heart at the very least.
Let's see what Devin
Yeah,
got to say
Offers
about
made. Is
Theo.
he
Yeah, I
pump
mean,
faking? Like what's
it's funny that you asked that because I was supposed to do a stay busy fight. Get back in the ring in October in Saudi, and the next fight was gonna be Tio, Turkey, and the guys offered him a fight. He said he's not. No,
so they
he's
offered
not
him
ready.
a fight?
Yeah, he said he's not ready.
So I've seen you in Saudi. Now Saudi's here.
Yeah.
And they not playing.
Yeah.
You like what you seeing?
Yeah, I mean they're putting on good cards, big cards, these big events. I think it's good for boxing.
It's shaking the game up for sure. So George Kambosos gets his shot against Teofimo Lopez in November 2021. As that fight is unfolding in real time, where are you at, and what are you thinking?
So during that fight, I was actually happy because before the fight, Tio was saying a bunch of things, how he wasn't gonna give me a shot, this and that. So I was like, man, like damn, what I'm gonna do? So Kambosos said, if I win, you got my word, I'm gonna give you a shot. So I didn't know much about Kambosos, but I seen how hungry he was and how hard he was training, and I knew what Tio was doing. It's no secrets in boxing. Everybody know what everybody doing. So I knew what he was doing. I'm like, this guy got a real shot. He's a live dog. When he was winning the fight, I'm like, ooh, like this may be my chance. I may really get my shot. So when he won, I was happy because he gave me his word that he would fight me.
And we just did an interview with Eddie Hearn. He said you came to him after that fight, was like, Eddie, give me that fight.
Yeah.
He started trying to work behind the scenes and basically, tell me if I'm wrong, the way, Top Rank had Kambosos.
Yeah.
And he was like, they freezing me out. I'm not gonna be able to make the fight. You gotta take the 2 or 3 fight deal they want you to take. Go get that fight and then let's come back and do business. Is that how it happened?
Yeah, somewhat that's how it happened. They wanted me to sign with them to get the fight. And
they call it options.
Yeah.
Option.
I can't say Eddie really wanted me to do it.
Really?
I mean, rightfully so. I mean, he invested in me. He believed in me.
Oh, you mean he didn't want you to take the 2 or 3 fight deal?
Yeah, exactly,
Gotcha.
exactly. And I was like, damn, like I was back and forth. Like, should I not? I want to be loyal to Eddie. Eddie's my guy. I was trying.
Why did they freeze him out?
So
why did Top Rank freeze out? Like, why did Top Rank not want to make the fight
with Devin Haney?
With Devin Haney.
It wasn't Top Rank. It was Teofimo. So this is something I tried to tell
Oh, he
people.
just said that he had to go sign with Top Rank a 3-fight deal to get the fight because they were freezing Eddie out. They didn't want to make the fight.
They wanted everything on their terms. They had the
Right.
biggest leverage.
Right.
They just didn't want to work with Eddie.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, if I get him to sign with me for a 3-fight deal, he's an independent now. So as an independent, he's gonna pay me my money. Now if he's signed with Eddie, now I gotta work with Eddie And now we got to make sure we give him enough to take care of Eddie. But if he signed with me, I don't have to worry about Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a money grab, you know. And Devin was in a position that he was in a unique position. They put him in a spot, gave him a limited amount of time to. Here's your chance. This is your opportunity to be great. You're not gonna make a lot of money, but this is your opportunity to be great. Come sign this 3-fight deal. We're gonna get you your shot at undisputed. We're gonna turn around and we're gonna put the rematch clause in there, and then we'll give you Lomachenko on the end. I mean, it was a scenario that was hard to refuse.
Yeah.
I can't turn. How can I turn this down? I get a chance to be undisputed,
Right.
and if I lose, I got a rematch clause that puts me right back in the spot.
Yep.
I can do this. I can do this.
I thought it was a one-way rematch clause.
All right. Let's see what you say.
Trying to make it work. Any way that I could at that moment. I was like, well, can I just involve Eddie? Is there any way that I can just involve Eddie in on a deal? It was like, this is just more like a take it or leave it deal. I couldn't negotiate nothing. Nothing. They told me, hey, they said you got 24 hours and you can't tell nobody. If we hear that you tell anybody, the deal's off the table.
It's over with.
So I was like, fuck. I remember I was in New York. I was in my hotel room. I was just thinking like, yeah, go to Australia, not once, but twice. Rematch, just the money, take it or leave it, nothing to negotiate.
You couldn't even negotiate the bread?
Couldn't negotiate the bread, couldn't negotiate. I couldn't negotiate nothing.
What about the rematch though? If you beat him, it wasn't going up. If
The money.
I'm saying would the money go up if you beat him the first time in the second fight?
Yeah.
Okay. But it still was kind of like, we gonna go up, but this is the number.
Yeah, this is the number.
You couldn't
exactly.
even negotiate the second fight? Ooh-wee. They negotiating hard, boy.
That was a deal, but it was 24 hours.
And they hit you with the 24 hours.
Can't call nobody.
Ooh.
So I was like,
And
Don't even,
hardball.
hold on.
lawyers and
Don't
everybody
even
was just
sound
calling me.
legal. Does that sound legal to you?
I was
Don't that kind
Yes,
of make
it's
you feel like
legal.
you making me sign
legal,
this
yeah.
contract? You making me sign this contract under duress? What do you
Yeah,
mean?
No,
I can't
he's
call nobody. I can't have nobody look over the contract. I can't. What do you mean?
Yeah, you can definitely do that because it's the onus is on them, right? Like they have all the power. So they're offering you
But you
something.
cannot listen. You cannot force. You can't. You get what I'm saying? You can't make me sign a contract under duress. You telling me I can't talk to nobody? So are you saying I can't have nobody read over the contract? Like, what are you telling me right
But
now?
look at the alternative, 2 cent. If you don't take it, I'll just say, okay, no fight. And you can't do nothing about it. What you gonna do? Are you gonna argue, say take a court? I say, okay, no fight. No problem. We don't even have to be in this discussion. We find somebody else for Cambosis to fight.
Because you're making me sign a contract under the like like you know what I'm saying? I'm under
Yeah,
duress.
but
You can't
you're not
you can't make
forced.
me sign a contract under duress.
You're not forced because you don't have to sign it. You don't have to agree. You're not forced. You
That's
see the
true.
problem? Like the only way you're forced if this like either you have to sign it, or you die or something. But here you're not forced. You just if you say okay, I'm gonna go to court. Oh, I'm gonna bring in my promoter. I'll be like, no fight.
All
The
right, let's
leverage that top rank had was too high.
ignoring
when
everybody.
they
I was
said
like,
you can't
man,
I gotta think.
I
contact
gotta think.
anybody. I
Exactly.
think it was more or less
Everybody
you
was just
can't bring in your
calling me.
promoter.
Eddie was hitting me. Eddie was.
what you say, Big Dre?
I said I think when they said you can't contact anybody, you can't bring in your promoter. So you can bring in your team of advisors,
Right.
okay? But we're giving you a 24-hour window. How many people do you think you can you move
24
in
hours.
24 hours?
Right.
No,
So
I
this is
think
a limited time offer.
in the video you say you can't
This is
contact
what we
anybody.
have. This is where it's going.
Okay, here we go.
saying like, no, let's just go this route. That's not the best deal. But I was like, nah, I'm gonna take it.
Take it.
So I took it. Then I went home. We announced the fight.
Bro, you did that and you get over there and Pops can't come.
Yeah.
Or it seems that he can't come.
Yeah.
What are you thinking in that moment? You over there right now, my daddy can't get in here.
Man, at that point, I was just so deep in the camp. I was already prepared to be over there. Before I went over there, like it was like it was like something we had to fill out like a visa and like fill out this paperwork and everything. I was asking my pops like, "What's up? Did you fill it out? Whatever." he was like, he didn't really want to tell me what was going on. He was like, yeah, I'm working on it, whatever the case. Like days kept going by, days kept going by. So then probably like 2 days before I'm about to leave, I start figuring out like what's going on. Like, he's like, man, let's just push it back a few more
Why
days.
wouldn't he
I'm
tell
trying to get over there. They playing, whatever the case. So I'm like, all right, push it back. So then that day finally came when it was time to leave. I gotta go. I was like, you wanna just stay, a couple more days so we could just try to figure it out. Man, I'm on a mission. I gotta go.
Your mind was made up.
I had already put all the hard work in. I was great shape. Everything was. I was ready mentally, physically. So my team that I had a good team of guys that was ready to go to war with me.
You had Yoel Judah, Zab's dad, right? You was comfortable with him if he needed to be the chief?
Yeah, I was comfortable with him. The guys that was already training me, that I was already, training with. Like, let's do it.
What was your mindset, bro? I told you this before. Like, I'm watching a fight and I'm always reading a fighter. Like when they get ready to take that walk, cause I'm like, man, I'm gonna see if he ready. I seen you look at the crowd, and I seen you run to the ring.
Yeah.
When I seen you run to the ring, I said, oh, you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did that.
Took care of business.
Yeah.
I'm calling a fight with Lomachenko and Jermaine
All right, we're gonna skip
Ortiz.
to the
Loma
fight.
wins. You and Pops pull up, and you in the ring. Y'all campaigning for the Loma fight.
Yeah.
The fight gets made shortly after that on May 20th, 2023. MGM Grand in Las Vegas. I called that fight on ESPN. It was 20 some odd thousand in there.
Yeah.
But it was loud.
Yeah.
And I remember before the fight, you was getting ready to walk, and I remember thinking like, yeah, this gonna be a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Because he had a lot of fans in the building, you had a lot of fans. But it just felt like I could feel it. I'm in my suit, and I could feel the pressure. I ain't about to fight.
Yeah.
So I know y'all feeling it. And I felt like in that fight, I don't know what everybody else talking about. I felt like that was the best I seen.
Yeah.
Because the weight, the pressure was heavy. And I just seen you box, and I seen you control the fight, and I seen you even weather the tough moments.
Yeah.
Most championship fights, you gonna have moments. Dude gonna have moments. You gonna.
Let me say this. That is absolutely the best performance that I've seen from Devin Haney. I am my 2 cents. I think he won the fight. I don't think Loma did enough to win that fight. I think Loma had good moments in that fight. But I believe that Devin Haney won that fight. I know a lot of people think that Devin Haney lost, but to me, it seemed as though he won the fight. So he did what he
Well,
had
I
to
scored
do.
it 7-5. So
For who?
for Loma,
For
I
Loma.
think he did just enough in a few of those middle rounds to take a couple of those middle rounds. That the 12th round, he crapped the bed on that. He should have pressed the 12th round, and he'd have won that fight decisively.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get 8-4 to Devin Haney. So, I mean, I think it was either way, it was a fair decision,
You can't really call close fights like that rivalries and stuff like that,
Yeah, you
especially
can't
stuff
call
that
it.
it could go either way. But that was a good fight.
Yeah, especially swing
Um,
rounds, because depends what the judges see at that point.
Gonna have moments, but how do you weather those storms? But then Loma did not close the fight like he was supposed to in the 12th round. And I think if you'd have won that, it would have been a draw. I think a majority draw, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And I hit you after the fight, and I said, "Hey, bro, don't let these people make you feel like you didn't fight a great fight because you did. That's the best I've seen you."
Yeah.
And you said something to me. You was like, "Nah, all that press, whether it's positive or negative, I love it."
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, this generation different, bro. He ain't. He don't matter whether it's positive or negative." But what was your take on the fight? Like during the fight and then after?
So during the fight, I was confident that I won. I knew that it was a close fight though. So you never know. You never know when what they scoring, what they seeing. But I definitely felt like I won the fight. After the fight, I felt like I won. Then, people just they try to bang it in your head that you lost. You lost. It was robbery. So then I didn't want to watch the fight for a long time. Like I just didn't feel like, it was a fight that I just didn't feel like comfortable watching it. So then I'm like, I finally watched it. I'm like, I won this fight. What did he say? I know I won this fight. I'm watching it. And I didn't still, but it was times that I got touched that I didn't like. Then it turned into my favorite fight. That's my favorite fight of mine
to this day.
Yeah.
How did Pops feel about it?
My pops said, "You whooped this mother
That's
ass."
what he said?
He kept telling he kept telling me that,
Yeah,
like,
say it.
even during the
Even
fight. If you
during the
watch the
fight,
fight, if you
yeah,
watch the fight, he said, "You kicking his ass."
Yeah, I'm
Nah,
probably
he was confident. He was confident in the victory too.
Javante and Ryan fight in April of 2023. Ryan gets stopped, but they do big numbers at the gate and they big pay-per-view numbers. After the game, start coming up as a real possibility.
I don't remember exactly. Ryan's lawyer reached out to me, reached out to us, and was like,
You know what? You know what? We're gonna go over this part Sunday. We're gonna go over this part Sunday. Let me see what else. All right, all right. You know, I really appreciate Devin for doing this interview. It's always good to see, the boxers sit down and reflect and talk about things. And I think I said this the other day on a panel I was on. We need to give these boxers the opportunity to talk and tell their story without yelling excuses at them all the time. To give my 2 cents. Like if I have a fight and I want to come out and say and tell what was going on, while I was in that fight or what things happened in training camp, that I'm not giving you excuses. I'm just letting you know my story, my quote unquote testimony, so to speak. I'm not giving you excuses. Now, if I come out and say if my knee wasn't hurt and I would have won that fight, then that's an excuse. But let these boxers come out and talk and tell their stories about what they went through to get to the fight. And I don't want to wait till 20 years later to hear about it. You get what I'm saying? I want to be able to come out, do the interviews like this, talk about what happened without them getting criticized about making excuses because I don't believe that's what they're doing. Now, I do believe that for Devin Haney to say, to keep, talking about this Osterine thing as if one, he's 100% for sure about it, and two, if that didn't happen, he would have definitely won the fight. Like, that's just not necessarily true. You can't say that. And that's another reason why we need to see a rematch. Y'all got to get back in the ring with each other. Like, we got to be honest. That's Devin Haney's biggest fight. It's not another bigger fight for Devin Haney. We could say Javante Tank Davis. That'll be a big money fight. But I think people would rather see Devin Haney rematch Ryan Garcia. What y'all think? What's y'all 2 cents about that?
I don't agree. I mean, I think that. So here's the thing: when you enter into a bad business deal with somebody, like let's say me, you do a business deal, and like you do me bad during our business deal, and then we break apart. To me, it's a bad
Hold on,
idea to
Mr.
do.
Greg. What's going on? I did not see you back there. We got Mr. Greg in the building.
Hey, how y'all doing, chat? How you doing, guys, up here? Y'all talking? I just got back in. We were out. I just got in. I'm surprised. I'm happy to see you on. I know I kind of came in while somebody was speaking, so I'll step back and let him finish, and then I'll talk if that's okay.
Go ahead, Box.
Yeah. So hey, what's up, Mr. Greg? So
How you
like,
doing, brother?
man, good brother, good. So yeah, like if me you are doing negotiations and you do me bad during our business dealing, and then we break apart, it doesn't make sense for me to go back into like doing more business deals with you because of the initial part. For me, I don't think it's a good idea.
But boxing hacker, just because I did a bad business deal the first time, don't mean I'll do it the second time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But at the end of the day, my reasoning is still my reasoning. I can use inductive reasoning to say like, hey, like there's still a good possibility that it might be another bad business deal. And at the end of the day, like I think Devin's fair to feel the way he feels. No matter what you think, whether the offspring helped him or not, which we'll never know how much the offspring played a part in that fight. We all have to accept the fact that it was on unfair grounds. There were rules in place, rules were broken, so the fight was on unfair grounds. One fight kept maintaining the rules while the other ones
But
didn't.
but I hear what you're saying, boxing hacker. But this is boxing. Like that logic typically doesn't apply here. If you have a fight and you feel cheated, you usually want to, you know what I'm saying? Fighters want to get back in there and do it again because they got something to prove. I hear what you're saying. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying
Mm,
when you apply that to this sport, think about people in the past that have gotten cheated. They went and rematched.
I don't know about that. Not
Think
all of
about.
them.
I'm not saying they all do, but I'm saying
Yeah, yeah.
when
You have the opportunity to if you feel like Miguel Cotto and Margarito, like you have the opportunity to, but you're not forced to. And if it depends on that fighter, if the fighter feels like this was bad, like it was bad business between him and Ryan. Ryan was messing up the promotions for the fight as well.
Oh,
So it
let
was
me
a
let me
whole.
hold on. Let me talk about that real quick. Did Ryan mess up the promotion for the fight?
I
You
mean, it
can
looked
go
like
either
that.
way with that. Okay, he didn't mess up the promotion of the fight. That fight was in a bad location. The tickets were overpriced, and it wasn't promoted that well. And did Ryan have his antics or whatever? Yes. Could it have affected the fight? Maybe, but they just want to scapegoat Ryan and make it seem like he's the reason why that fight didn't do well when all those other factors played a bigger part in that fight not doing good than Ryan Garcia. You got two
Yeah,
kids from California all the way in New York. You charging these astronomical amounts for these tickets? Like, come on.
maybe, but here's the thing, though, right? What Ryan was doing, I mean, it didn't seem like it was helping. You know,
Yeah, I could agree to that. Terrence, are you there? Is Terrence there? Terrence best video.
Mhm.
All right, Big Dre, you want to give your 2 cents about this?
Well, I agree with you um, on the promotion of the fight. I don't know if it's Ryan's antics helped or hurt the fight. Um, some of it was uh, just too funny to 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 not make you want to see the train wreck that's going to be.
Right.
Um, the sitting around, uh, crying, the drinking of the whatever substances, uh, you know, apple juice at the uh, at the weigh-in in a beer bottle. Uh, riding in on a horse. He was his
He sold the hell out that fight.
the white suit, the sitting down at the press conference, with his corny rap and tapping his shoes with those socks on. He was he was Ryan. He was especially Ryan. Uh, I don't know if it helped, it hurt, but it made me want to tune in to see the train wreck that may be.
And it definitely was a train wreck. What you got, Mr. Greg? What's your 2 cents?
The promotion of that fight was pretty lackluster. Ryan's antics, in my opinion, didn't move the narrative of why they were fighting or make the fight seem to be something we wanted to see. That nothing selling before Ryan create whatever character he thought he was creating, and it called attention. But it also had a lot of us thinking something was wrong with Ryan and whether he should even be in the ring.
Now, I thought something was wrong with Ryan before the fight, but go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, but I'm just saying that didn't make you us want to. Oh yeah, he's ready. He's getting ready to do some damage. He's selling the fight. He was just selling that he his antics more so than he was selling the fight. Plus, the promotion was lackluster, to, as far as I was concerned. But I wanted to say too before somebody's going to come in, I like that you have had the opportunity to show a lot of the machinations and the behind the scenes goings on that happens for a fight to get from point A to they actually get into the ring. Because a lot of times, the narrative is, usually is that somebody's ducking or somebody doesn't want to fight or things of
I'm gonna be
that
right
nature.
back. Go ahead, Mr. Greg. Keep talking.
And what we see is a whole lot more that's taking place in terms of how these fights actually get made, who gets put in position to take it or leave it, who gets put in position of, okay, well, you want this fight, you got to do a 3-fight deal. We don't a lot of times understand how that affects what we actually ultimately see in the fights that take place. And then by the time we see the fights, we don't know what's wrong with the fighter. For instance, I still think something is wrong with Ryan psychologically, but it affects how he performs in the ring. I mean, this fight with him and Devin should have been a great fight for both of them, but it was marred from the very beginning with a lot of the foolishness and the BS, and then of course you come out with the PEDs, or at least the illusion of it, because I don't think it made that much of a difference in what the actual performance was, but it still broke the rules regardless. We still got to play by some rules that still exist. But that also scarred the fight. I think a rematch is warranted. I think both of them should be trying to go down that path. It should be easier, excuse me, to make that fight to settle once and for all how that fight should have played out without, well, he had this, he did that. They should just be promoting this fight. We're going to settle our differences. We're going to show who we really are. We're going to see who is better. They're not doing that right now. And of course, there's other business that they want to do. I mean, Ryan just want to get back in the ring, but he's out for a minute. And Devin is in a position where he's still got to continue. He can't sit around waiting for Ryan because we don't know what Ryan is actually doing right now. Is he getting himself together psychologically? If he's staying in shape? Is he's trying to put his business plans back into place? Or when he does get back in the ring, will it still be some more of his crazy antics? So it's good that we at least get to see it now. We don't have to so much guess. I like the interview that he did with just now with oh god, SOG. It makes sense to hear what they thinking, what they went through, how it came to be, and we can understand now. The fighters who, the people who watch fights who don't really understand this kind of stuff. Now you can hear it, you can see it a little bit, and it makes us better fans. I think once we understand what they're going through. Um,
Yep.
so like I said, I'm glad that you're able to put forth what is actually going on because we're hearing it from the fighter. No, I don't want to have behind the scenes 3 and 4 years, maybe 10 years later, of what actually took place. We've seen it now 3 or 4 months or 3 or 4 weeks later, what actually took place. And this is good for everybody because now the fighters have to be conscious of what they're doing now, how
Right.
they're going
And that
about it, and how they're being perceived. So
and that's
this is
why I
good,
really
and I hope you continue to do, show this kind of stuff. And the guys you have on, hey, these guys. I mean, I just came in because we were out, but I like that they know what they're talking about, and if they know, and because of that, those who like
oh
boxing.
Lord, don't tell boxing hacker that.
Well, because they know what they're
Nah,
saying
boxing
things,
hacker.
they're not saying anything crazy. You know what
No,
I mean? They're
no.
saying things that okay, he knows what he's talking about, and he's making sense. Now I can a person can reconfigure how they were thinking, but now somebody done gave us some real knowledge. That's a
Mr.
good
Greg,
thing.
you gotta catch me earlier on Friday. You always get on here at the
I
end.
was out. We just came back in the door. Friday date night. So the date ended. With how
You
it ended.
clean, Mr. Greg?
Huh?
I say you got your suit jacket on. You looking clean.
Oh, I mean, I literally came in the door and y'all happened to be on. I said, let me at least get in and say hello and get some words. And because I've been looking for you because I wanted to talk about I didn't get a chance to talk about the Belanga fight with Canelo with you.
Oh yeah, yeah. Come back Sunday. Sunday from 5 to 7. I'll be back on. I'm gonna go around the panel. Let everybody.
I'll miss you then because I'll be on my schedule. I'll be out again, but that's how it goes. But I'm glad I got a
Okay.
chance to get
You
in
gotta catch me
and
on
got a
the
few
replay.
words in.
Well, I want
Hey,
to thank
Two Cent,
everybody
before
for.
you do that, can I ask Mr. Greg a question?
Go ahead.
Yes.
Mr. Greg, it's my opinion that um, something in Devin broke the night of the Ryan fight. Um, he seemed to have lost his warrior mentality. Um, in the first couple of days, right after the fight, he said he didn't want to rematch. He didn't want to get in the ring with Ryan again. There was something wrong. This was just not how he envisioned things. Um, Now he has since changed his tune, and then when the PED things came out, he said it again. Um, I just think Devin is a broken fighter, and he should not. I mean, even though he needed to take some time to get himself together, I think he should not have dropped his belt um, to get away from his mandatory. Um, to give him some leverage when he did return. What's your
What?
thoughts on that?
I
Wait, can
see.
we clarify one thing first? He did ask for a rematch immediately after the fight, and he did ask for a rematch up to the point until he found out about the Austrian.
Stop
So
it.
yeah. So I just wanted to clarify that.
To me, it was disappointment that he let get the best of him. You lost and you didn't know about why you lost in terms of having an excuse. But you were disappointed you didn't perform because you did that he really didn't believe in his heart, I believe, that Ryan could beat him. He didn't believe that Ryan could put him on the canvas like he did. And once faced with that for the first time, he responded badly psychologically. You got knocked down, you looked like you was hurt, you was maybe a few seconds away, in my opinion, from not getting back up. So the way he responded, as you say, was like a broken fighter because he couldn't believe what happened to him. This was to me, and I know these were very different fights. If you remember when Roy got beat by Tarver, and when he
Oh
was in
yeah,
the dressing room, and he was saying he made the excuse at that time that how do you deal with somebody who says to you in the ring, you got any excuses this time? He spoke on that as though he was surprised that somebody could say that to him, and that had an effect on Roy when Tarver asked, "Do you have any excuses this time?" And when I
yeah.
didn't
That was the
get to
second
see it
fight.
then, but when Roy was in the dressing room with his head down, that's one of the first things he referenced. How do you deal with somebody? They're crazy. And so I think Devin was sort of feeling that same thing. Your ego, of course, your ego's hurt because you don't got really put down. And it went into the narrative of Devin don't have no chin, Devin is soft, all the little negative slurs or negative remarks made about him played into how he was feeling. He didn't say, I lost this fight. I'm going to get back in the gym, get myself together, look where I made mistakes, and we're going to do this rematch. Instead, he was confused, as you say. It did look like he was a broken fighter. And then, of course, now when he found out about the oxygen, oh, that's why I lost. Okay, I'm justified in how I feel now because he did this. But we know it wasn't enough in that particular drug that Devin had in him to have caused that. It still was against the rules, and that was enough for him to hang on to that as a reason for him to have
And
lost the fight.
let me
Can I jump in
my
that
two
one?
cents and piggyback off that. I'm gonna let you go back. Sarah. I'm gonna get my 2 cents, and then I'm gonna go through the panel, let everybody get a closing remarks. But I think that if you ask me, in my opinion, just to give my 2 cents, I think that Devin Haney is or was mentally or is still mentally defeated after that fight for several different reasons. The fight didn't do the numbers that he thought it was gonna do. Ryan Garcia came in there and he didn't wash him. He wasn't no C level fighter performance. He knocked him down 6 times. He didn't have an answer for the left hook. His dad gave him a bad game plan to fight Ryan Garcia. Like he actually really thought he was gonna go in there and knock Ryan Garcia out. Then you have everything that happened after the fight. You got
You broke up two
You
cents.
You
broke
broke
up.
up just then. Yeah, you have bad connection. No, you're not back yet. Something's wrong with your mic.
hello, can you hear me?
You're here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're back. You're back.
Okay. What's the last thing y'all heard?
That he was a broken fighter.
Yeah. And then you
Yeah.
said Ronnie Garcia.
Yeah, he thought Ryan Garcia was a C level fighter. He thought he was gonna go in there and wash Ryan Garcia and knock him out. He's questioning the team around him. He's questioning the team that did the negotiations. He's questioning the people that told him this fight would do big numbers. Like everything around him concerning his boxing career has a question mark over it. And then on top of that, you got knocked down 6 times in the ring by the same punch. You had no answer for that. Your dad didn't give you an answer for that in the corner. And and I'm just thinking of me personally in that position to where everything around me, everything I believe is out the window now. And I just don't know. I'm unsure. And when I watch this interview, I still haven't seen the whole thing, but when I watch clips of this interview and I hear Devin Haney say, I did everything right. I'm not making any changes to my team. That just makes me feel like he will lose again. And that will completely break him, in my opinion. I don't care if you win a fight, if you lose a fight, there's always room for improvement. And when I'm watching this interview, I just want to hear Devin say that, hey, I went in the ring, I worked on this, I worked on my defense, I seen my holes in the game, and not just he cheated. So that was the
Mm-hmm.
problem. He cheated. Like that
Mm-hmm.
mentality right there is not okay. And I want to say I hope Devin is just saying that because his pride and his ego, but deep down inside he's really sad and analyzed. But I don't think it's true because I don't think the people around him are telling him the truth. And even when you listen to the interview, it's a lot of things that he said that he didn't want to do. Well, I didn't want to do that, but my dad or whatever, I ended up doing it anyway. Well, I didn't want to do that, but I ended up doing it anyway. I heard him say that a lot throughout this interview. Now, I'm not saying it's all bad or it's all good. I'm just making the point that he has to sit and think and make these decisions for himself, and he has to be honest with himself. Because if Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia rematch again and the same thing happened, I don't think he'll be able to come back from that. I don't think he'll be able to come back from that. Yes, we got the issue with the Osterine, but you cannot put it all on that and say that's the only reason why you lost. You did everything right. You're not making no changes to your team. When you sat there and you told Andre Ward from the negotiations all the way to the game plan for the fight, things needed to be changed. Things need to be reevaluated. And it doesn't seem like you reevaluated everything. So it just seems like you're going to repeat the same mistakes. But I want to thank everybody for joining me today. I'm gonna go around the panel. I want everybody to give.
Awesome, awesome.
Go ahead.
So let me piggyback on this, right? So one thing people have to realize, boxing it can be a very like lonely and tragic sport, and it's for a lot of people. If you lose a fight, like it can feel like your whole world crumbles in front of you, and that's in the amateurs, that's in the pros. That's just how it is because you feel like you're letting everybody down. So it's to me before we say that a fighter is broken, most fighters you see fighters in the ring, they might just talk, but they still go back in the locker room. They're gonna cry. They're gonna break down. Lomachenko cried, and he still came back and he fought well. So I won't say it's the end for Devin or Devin's broken. He
Oh, I say
responded like how normal boxers respond. Now, when it comes to this whole thing about Osprey not helping or helping, at the end of the day, we can never know like how much Osprey played a part in that fight. Whether it gave Ryan the edge to making him perform, or whether it didn't. So for them to feel like, hey, like for them to be like, hey, like he felt that Osprey was the edge factor. I think it's fair. It was on unfair grounds at that point. And then if you want to make this argument about how much Osprey it takes to for it to be effective, right? If that's your argument, then your argument should be
got
with
two
Vada.
minutes.
And I've
I can
always
wrap
said
it up.
it. You said what?
So you got 2 minutes. Got to wrap it up.
Yeah. And if you believe that, if you believe that if that it wasn't effective at that dosage, then your argument should be with Vada. You should say, hey, Austrian should be legal at this dosage. Hey, Austrian should not even be tested like the day before a fight. Because you feel like it has no effect. Nobody can make those claims. Just like when you take Tylenol and you have your headache goes away. Maybe the Tylenol helped, maybe it didn't. Who knows? But
Okay.
we don't know how it affected that person, at that day. We don't know. We know that Austrian at the end of the day, it helps you when you're cutting weight to maintain your strength. But we don't know how much it did. We do know that they both cut weight. So that's
All right.
why I ended with that.
Thank you for your 2 cents, boxing hacker, Mr. Greg. What you got?
Hey, I'll say it again. Boxing is 75% mental, as most of us know, whether you fought as an amateur, as I did, whether you fought at a recreation center, whether you fought in the ring. When you don't keep yourself together in that area, you're gonna fall apart everywhere else. And I think that's something that Devin's probably pulling this. I hope so that he's pulling himself together. You gotta keep yourself together. There's going to be things that's going to happen. There's going to be things like, somebody has PEDs or some kind of PED or something that seems to be unfair, or breaks the rules, that you can contribute to your loss. But you got to look at what you did too, what you didn't do. Why weren't you able to stop the same punch the entire fight? What was it that you weren't doing training? What was it doing? What were you doing in the fight that caused that to happen? So for Devin, he has to grab himself, look himself in the mirror, decide who he is, and be that guy in the ring every single time, win, lose, or draw. There should never be, I did everything right. He cheated. Uh, had a bad camp, et cetera, et cetera. You have to decide who you're going to be in that four corner circle, because we're going to say what we're going to say about him based on his performances and how he responds to the wins or the losses. He's not responding to the loss like he should, like a fighter should. Like I said, he should have said, I lost this fight, regardless of how you think Ryan won. I'm going to fix my part of my performance and come back. I want the rematch, and that's how I'm going to conduct myself in the ring. That's all he has to learn to do. And I like that. Of course, it looks like he was being honest talking to why can't I think of SOG's name?
Andre Ward.
Andre Ward. I don't know why I can't think of his name, but it looked like he was trying to be very honest, and that's a step in the right direction. Be honest with yourself. There's some things you're not going to be able to do because you don't have the skill or the mentality for it. So build on what you can do and do it in the ring, and that's all we can ask of you. Get it. You can improve, of course, but let's see how he goes. But I think that's what all fighters need to do. Be honest with yourself, do the work, and then go out there and perform for the people, because we still like the sport regardless of the problems.
All right. Thank you for joining me today, Mr. Greg. Big
Sure, I'm
Dre.
glad I was able to get in and talk to you.
All right. Appreciate it. I will
All
see
right.
you next time.
Okay, see you later, fellas. It's good to talk. We'll see y'all.
All right.
Good to see
Big
you
Dre,
too.
close us out. What you got?
Well, I just want to say that I watched the entire interview, um, and I watched most of it a second time. Um, he, there were things in the interview that um, I think still bother Devin about that fight. I still think there's something that something is broken inside that he still needs to fix. It might be he needs to get back in the ring and get a win um, to get that back. Um, the the fact that the first thing that he mentions um, in the fight with Ryan is the PEDs. I think it's a problem. You split 3-3 with Ryan in the amateurs, but no PEDs in the amateurs. Um, so you were good enough to beat him in the amateurs, and he was good enough to beat you in the amateurs. And as professional fighters, you came in the ring, um, you got yourself together, um, and you performed to what you thought your game plan should be. Your game plan was a little bit off. Your defense was a little bit off. And the one punch that everybody says that is all that Ryan has um, was the one punch you couldn't do nothing with. Um, it was the first punch you got hit with, um, and it knocked you down several times. So I think he's going to need some time to get it. He needs to get in the ring, and maybe he needs to get a couple of light touches before he gets trying to go back up to the championship status. But I still think that him dropping his belt was a bad idea.
Definitely. That's all his leverage.
Well,
All
two
right,
cents.
big.
It was great being on here with you.
I appreciate you coming up.
You know,
Thank you.
I just happened to catch you. I was on my way someplace else, but your live stream was at the top of my page, so I jumped on in.
Okay.
Um, so, but yeah, it was good to be on here, and I really enjoyed it.
All right. All right. Thank you. Come back next Friday. Listen, guys, I will be going live Friday and Sunday. Friday is just boxing talk. Y'all come on here, hop on the panel. We can just talk about some random things that happen throughout the week. Sundays will be my more formal show, but we still will have a panel. Listen, I just want you to know that this platform is a platform where I want to hear your thoughts and your perspective as well as sharing mine. There are no right or wrong answers over here. I mean, it is, but you know what I mean when I say that. We can come up here, we can debate. It's all fun. It's all love over here. We're gonna be respectful. Big Supreme, thank you for stopping by, Jarrell. All things boxing hacker. Who else we had in the building? Phoenix the Assassin. Who else we had in the building? Benaiah White. Slogan One. Mark Hughes. Andre Noble, Richard Paris. Who else we had joined us today? That was going in the chat today. All things. I want to thank y'all for coming by. Big Dre and McQueen, H Money. I want to thank all of you all, Zach. I want to thank all of you all for stopping by to my live today. I want to give a special thank you to Alan Sostan and Big Dre for hitting me up in the Cash App. Guys, you can always help monetarily support the channel by sending the Cash App to 2 Cent Boxing. All of your donations will go to improving the audio and video quality of the channel. If you're unable to do that, you can always hit the like and subscribe button, share a video, comment on the video. Those are free. You can always do those. Please help support the channel. I'm on my way to get monetized. I'm trying to get my watch hours up. So y'all go check out some of my videos, check out some of my old videos, and it will go down Sunday, 5 to 7 p.m. We'll be right back live talking that good old boxing talk. Thank y'all. Hope y'all had a good time today. Let me see what else I got going on. We talked about T.O. We went over the Devin Haney interview. Listen, I'm a fan of all these boxers, even though I may criticize them. I know a lot of y'all call that quote unquote hate, but I am a fan of boxing. I am privy to some boxers more than I am to others, but we all are. We all have that quote unquote bias. Let's not act like we don't. But I'm definitely interested to watch this story happen in real time. You know how you hear those boxing stories from back in the day, but right now we get to watch one of those stories play out in real time. So I'm really excited to see that. I'm going to keep my eye on the story. I'm going to continue to report on the story and talk about the story. So we're going to follow Devin Haney through this journey, and we're going to see how it plays out for him. Hopefully he's able to recover. When he first came back and I seen him put the tweet out, you can go check my videos. I made a video about it. How is Devin Haney going to come back? How is he going to recover? What is going to be his game plan? I do believe that Devin Haney does need to move strategically for right now just to see where he's at. I don't even think he should be trying to get in the ring with T.O. right now, to be honest with you. Let him get the tune up, some stay busy fights. Let's see where his mental is at. Let's see if he's able to trust his team, because I'm pretty sure there's some trust issues there. I'm pretty sure there's some trust issues there. He may not say it, but and I know me personally, I will be questioning some things from this point forward throughout my career. But I want to thank everybody for joining me. Again, I'm Jay, and this is 2 Cent Boxing, where we talk about everything boxing, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Be sure to follow me on IG at 2cents20 and follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter. No, be sure to follow me on IG at 2cents Boxing and be sure to follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter at 2cents20. I'm Jay, and stay tuned for my 2 cents in the next live.
Y'all, man. 2 cents be on point. She be on point, bro. On
Appreciate
point.
it.
Nah, for real.
Appreciate
We
it.
talking facts. Like you was the first one to say it.